Hey guys, hi. I was on Baggy TV's one a minute ago, but then he had technical issues, so that's why we're doing the stream on my one because we were going to do it on Baggy's originally. So I'll send out the link. Bobby, I totally agree with you. You like with when Tuchel came in, you said with the same midfield, we're not going to do anything, and that's what it's proved to be. You know, we can't. Only a miracle worker can do with the midfield personnel we have. We just need something else in midfield, I think. Is that better, Baggy? Nice to see you back.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Every 2 minutes I get disconnected. Everything else is working. It's just the StreamYard that gets disconnected. So
Uh-huh.
sorry to me.
Yeah, so everyone's back now, or most people are back. Over.
Green Turf actually came on in the last minute before I got disconnected. So he should be showing up here.
Yeah. So, okay, we got.
What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about Mendy? What do you guys think about Mendy? Because Mendy was, that guy today was not it.
Mendy,
Yeah.
he was panicking a bit. I thought today. Bobby, I'll add you a bit later, mate. We could only add 6 to the stream, so I'll put you in a bit later if that's okay. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, Mendy doesn't look confident like he used to back in the day. So a couple of times he had the ball. I think one time he panicked and kicked it out of play, and another one I think he kicked it straight to a Wolves defender.
I think Callum Hudson-Odoi saved him the last few minutes as well.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, that's what I want to say before we went off. Actually, when somebody in the stream before had said that Callum Hudson-Odoi was out of position, but Callum Hudson, I thought he worked hard both ways. Because that run back he did to make that last minute tackle, I thought that was really really good, and
Yeah,
I thought he played in a confident way. I thought.
Yeah, especially.
Whoa,
Oh, he's gone again. Bag is gone.
I just feel like I feel like personally to me, I don't know if Kepa transferred his soul to Edouard Mendy at some of the few games because Mendy has been looking skeptical and Kepa actually has been looking decent when he plays. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Did Kepa switch bodies with Mendy or what? Because I mean, if it wasn't Callum Hudson-Odoi, this stream right now, I don't care what anyone is telling me, even though it's Toko's first game, I would be spazzing right now because I'll be like, no, but so I'm happy that he saved us. He had a good game. I felt like he was the man of the match.
Yeah. Alex, I'll get you on in a minute. As I said, I can only get 6 on. So, Bobby, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I heard what you said about the midfield, and I won't bang on about it again. It's just blatantly obvious as far as I'm concerned. Because of work commitments, I could only get back and pick up on highlights. I'll sit back and watch the game in detail after this talk. But my main focus is Tuchel himself. This is so intriguing. I for the first time ever, I'm slightly lost for words. I don't know whether he's going to be able to deliver what we want him to deliver. Do you know what I mean? It all looks exciting as it always is in the beginning. But, I've looked back at a few of his matches. Yes, he's good at in-game management, but well, I guess we'll wait and see. How's he going to handle the low blocks of the Premier League, where even with the low blocks, people are constantly pressurizing you in your face. Time will tell. But for a first game, we can't really say anything. We'll have to judge him. What's our next game?
Only,
You've got
and
to
that's
come Burnley. Burnley, you
Burnley,
just beat Aston Villa. Beat Aston Villa, back-to-back wins against Aston Villa and Liverpool, so their confidence is high.
That would be a good
that's what
test
I'm
for
saying.
him.
That's what I'm saying with Chelsea. That's what I'm saying with Chelsea. I don't know if this is the mentality that we're going to have now that we've seen Burnley win. I think that we're going to go into that game feeling that Burnley can beat us, and it might happen because I've been seeing that so far. But I just
Burnley,
hope that's the mentality.
They're also another team who defend well and defend organised. So we need to find a way of breaking them down. Cruz, you got anything to say, mate?
I think it was sort of what I think we spoke about in the last stream on what was the channel about the midfield. I think you touched on it briefly just before on Baggy channel as well. I think I said it before the game. I think that's where the game will be won and lost. I think Kai Havertz and Ziyech they did okay. I've seen a lot of praise for Havertz. Havertz and Ziyech in the attacking phase, but I think it's the right to win the space. They just don't pick up the space between the lines. In that midfield, it was tight and compact, and you just wanted someone to drop a shoulder or sprint, pick up the ball, turn, and do something quick. And everything was quite slow. Ziyech picked up about 10 times with his back to the goal, never on the half turn. And again, Jorginho just side to side, sort of just passing it along. Oh, Man United have gone 1-0 down. Sorry. Yeah. So it was just a bit. It was a bit too slow and methodical. I think I think our fullbacks as well. I think it was a brilliant tactical decision to play the 3-5-2, and he 3-5 the 3-5 2. I think he done well. 3-5 sort of 1-1. I think it was kind of, but I think he done well to pick that out and put the plays that he did play. One thing I will say just quickly is, on that right-hand side, Adoy did what I said a couple of games ago. Everyone was praising him, but in a 4-3-3, because you're pinned right up against the left back, what Ziyech coming into those lines does is it second guesses the fullbacks. Do I go to the guy in field, which is Ziyech, or do I stay out wide and mark Adoy? So I think that's what the formation allowed us to do. But I think opposite side, Ben Chilwell, he's just not dynamic enough for me. I think pace-wise,
I was a bit disappointed with him.
He's a bit. I'm not going to say he's slow because I don't know how these sprints work, and someone probably say, yeah, but he's the quickest player at the club or something. But when you look at him, like when you just watch him on the pitch, he looks a bit. I don't know. He doesn't take people on. I think when Pulisic came on, it kind of said we had two wingers playing literally wing backs. But wing backs, you only play the back part of the wing back when the team is attacking you. So you don't allow your fullback that you're attacking to get past you, but you never really go back into your half of the pitch. We never saw Adoy really defending in the final third, other than that big sprint that he had to do. So I think, in a wing back position, if you're going to play it like that, you kind of do need to go with two wingers and just hope that the midfield can sort of help the defense to track the wingers on the opposition's team. But not to go into it too long, I think it was a good first game. It was very positive. Like I said, I didn't think we'd win. I went for a 1-1. I didn't think we would win. I just think it's too early, but like you said, like a few guys said, the signs are there, so we'll see.
What you're saying, Kroos, I agree with you. Like with the formation we played, especially the formation we played, the 3-5, whatever formation we played, I felt like Alonso would have felt like the that left wing back position, because under Conte, that was like one of his best positions. And even when we played him a few times with Lampard using that kind of formation, he actually played decent, and he was going forward, because Ben Chilwell wasn't showing anything today. He was just slacking up. I mean, he was a bit lazy. I mean, I felt like maybe Alonso needed to play in this kind of game, especially using this formation, because this is the kind of formation he's best good at.
Yeah, I think Alonso. I think Chilwell's a left back. He's not a wing back for me.
100%.
Yeah, because as you guys said, he doesn't really beat his man. He's not dynamic enough to play that left back, that left wing back role. Yeah. DJ Sav, you got anything?
Yeah, just going on to what Michael just said regarding the wing-back role. I thought that if we were going to play that formation today, it would have been better with Alonso really starting today, not Chilwell. Only because obviously we've seen him do it with Conte, and I think he would have gone a little bit more fun. Listen, I usually would say I prefer Chilwell over Alonso any day. But if you're going to play this kind of formation that we played today, maybe it should have been suited for Alonso today, and maybe not Chilwell. Yeah. But then again, he's not played for a couple of games now, so we don't know how he would have been. So, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I've got a couple of people want to come in. I could only have 6 people in, so does
Okay,
someone
let
want
me
to
go
go on the
ahead.
sidelines for a little bit so that I can?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just say something before I go.
Okay.
I just it was a good game today. I mean, our next game is Burnley. I hope we can win the game. I mean, up Chelsea. I mean, let's just progress and build our confidence from now. But I think good things coming. So you guys have a nice day.
Okay. Thanks for your contribution. Yeah. Cheers. Let me bring in. Alex has been waiting patiently.
All right,
How you
guys.
doing, mate?
I'm
Hiya.
good. Thank you. I'm good.
Yeah.
Today's performance, I think it was a bit frustrating, but I guess we can't really expect anything from Tuchel yet, and just the team. I think there was still it was kind of a better performance, even if it was 0-0. Just you could see that there was some kind of style on what Chelsea were trying to do with the ball. Defensively, in a way that we didn't actually, maybe once or twice we did get countered, but we did look like when we did lose the ball that we were kind of we tried to kind of always win the ball back, which was kind of a positive.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was good. Callum Hudson-Odoi I think was great today. I think it's an interesting way that he played. The formation of the 3 centre backs. What I mean. Like, I think he went with experience tonight. That's what I think he went with. He just went with players. I think just kind of more experienced players. And yeah, I guess the only thing that I would say is like, why sometimes just Jorginho is a bit he's still doing the same thing. Obviously, I think I know that he's just there just to kind of like take things. You know what I mean? Just to make it like just recycle the ball. That's his job, but it's just I think we didn't need Jorginho and Kovacic because I could tell when they were playing, they were both just sitting back. You never see Kovacic or Jorginho actually running with the ball. They would always pass it on the left hand side, but it was usually Ziyech, Giroud, Hudson-Odoi, and Havertz, who were the 4 players who were just kind of with around that kind of area, and Kovacic and Jorginho were just sitting back, and that's the problem with I guess maybe we don't know. Maybe when Kante comes back, maybe you only need one, but I mean, it's just the first game. You can't really judge it. Look, it's not easy to score against a team that has 12 players behind the ball, and I think Wolves haven't conceded a goal like Wolves have conceded so many goals in the past couple of games. They're kind of bound to try and at least get a clean sheet. But Havertz looked good. Havertz looked better today, which was a positive. And Giroud and Chilwell, though, oh my god, today they had a shocking game.
Yeah, Giroud. With him, I would have taken him off a lot earlier because it was one of them games where you could see that he wasn't really up for it today. And yeah, I agree with you on quite a lot of the points that you've made, especially with the midfield. We've got that situation where, it was just everything was too safe. We're not making any risk passes, no risk, no rewards, as I said. So
and also I think there was times where just you would want to see some kind of runs in behind, like usually like kind of just something a bit different. But I understand. I think the team is still, obviously he only just came in last time. The team, I think, is kind of, they still have that kind of mentality of the way Lampard was playing.
Yeah,
it will come with time, but just Mount looked good when he came on. You know what I mean? And just I mean, I just the only thing I was a bit confused about. I think Ziyech was pretty good today. I think he was having some kind of. I think he's there to kind of make the game quicker and kind of make those kind of tricky, good kind of good passes kind of between the players. That's his job, I think, in the team. And like he takes off Ziyech for Mount when he could have taken off Jorginho or Kovacic. Maybe attacked a bit more. But
I'd have taken. Well, I was screaming for
taken
I was screaming for Jorginho to come off, to be honest.
Oh my god, man!
Because he wasn't really doing anything with the ball. And I think he did say, and Tuchel did say that he apologised to the likes of Reece James and those players and Mount, because he did say that he was going with experience for his first game.
Yeah. So, I think it was more of a what did he say? He said like it's more of a it was like a team sheet, but it was like a more of a team just to kind of understand his players. I think, look, you can't. There's nothing else. Like I think Wolves, you know, it was one of those games where like I think Wolves knew that if they went head to head with Chelsea, they would have lost that game. So
yeah, Wolves. I know. Yeah, Wolves did what they had to do really. So it was up to us to break them down.
Yeah.
But obviously he's got 3 days now to assess them. 3 days of training. So I'm hoping that he can see what these players are about a bit more now.
Yeah, I think he's going to switch it up. I think you're going to see a completely different. I think you're going to see a completely different team against Burnley. Like, you know, look now, Burnley, like they've beat Aston Villa 3-2. You know, so they're going to be up. They're going to be up
and then
for the
that's
game.
as I said, they beat Liverpool before, so back-to-back wins against two of the teams. Yeah,
they're going to be up for the game, so it's going to be.
Yeah,
we'll have to just wait and see how it goes.
And just the sort of team we don't like playing, stubborn defensively, and we'll have to break them down on their low block. So. Go, Tyrone.
There's 2 things that I realized as well. I watched a few games. I watched the Champions League with PSG when he was there, and I went back and watched some of the games that he had on their Dortmund, and I realized that there was a mixture of the 2 tactics that he used there. He had a situation where, at one point, where Wolves, I think it was Traore who was coming towards Rudiger. I realized that at PSG he used this the way that they handled it. It was similar to how PSG would do it, because they had like two on one players, and then they tried to ensure that one player got the ball and then the other one sat back. So I think I realize what he's doing now. He's mixing the both tactics that he used for the 2 former clubs that he was at, and then he's trying to add a few things to it as well.
Mm-hmm. Everton are 1-0. Everton has just gone 1-0 up. Yeah, that's a pity. Because as I said, had we got a result today, you know, we could have closed the gap on a couple of teams, man. That's why I wanted that win. Because like with who else played earlier? Obviously, you got Man U as well, haven't you? You got Man U playing.
Even Villa, like Villa have a couple of games.
United.
Are you ahead of me?
Yes,
did they? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. DJ Sav said he will come off for a minute, so I just took him off, put him on the bench so that I can. Eric's come on now. So Eric, what's your thoughts, mate?
I'm hearing feedback.
Makal, I'll put you on late in a minute, mate. Just when we get you. Okay. Yeah, Eric, off you go.
Yeah, it was a good performance. Not much was going on. We moved the ball well, you know, 1 touch, 2 touch passing, but maybe in the final moments, in the final third, there wasn't enough. I don't know. There wasn't enough speed at times. The ball wasn't moved quickly at the right moments to like try and create really good opportunities. But it wasn't a bad game. We could have won. Maybe we should have won the game with the chances we created. Maybe 1-0. But it just didn't happen. And I think there were some good things with the performance. You know, we didn't look exposed a lot. The team looked like we were defending. The Wolves didn't really do anything. They didn't really have many chances to do anything. So I think we defended well, and we looked like we knew what we were trying to do. You know, the players looked like they weren't clueless. They looked like they had an idea of what they were trying to do. Perhaps maybe they were just a bit too cautious. You know, they didn't really try and take so many risks. So it's just the first game. I don't want to be too critical. So yeah.
Yeah, as I said before, it's just a pity of that brilliant cross in the first 10 minutes that Callum Hudson-Odoi put across that Giroud couldn't get on the end of that. Because I think, had we scored early, because I predicted 3-0, because I thought there's a feel-good factor, but had we scored early, I think we'd have gone on to score a couple more goals. But as the game went on and we didn't score, confidence goes a bit, and people start to make the safe passes rather than the risk passing. So, Mikhail, what's your thoughts, mate?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on.
That's all right, mate.
Sorry, I was looking at when I signed on. People were talking about how Havertz did, and that's when I decided I wanted to jump in and have a say. So just overall, I thought, I mean, based on what Tuchel, uh, the team he started, the formation sort of made sense, but you kind of saw the team kind of settling into familiar patterns as the match went on, where they just played in their comfort zones and didn't attempt too many brave passes, I guess. There were a couple times when Chilwell backpassed when Havertz was ready and clear on goal if he had been spotted or if he decided to feed him. And I'm sure there were other players in similar situations. Giroud was making runs or trying to position himself to make runs, but nobody was feeding him either. And I think that will take time to figure out. At some point in the game, towards the 70th minute, I was hoping that we'd see Pulisic at number 10, where he can turn on the ball and attack goal more. Havertz was a little lackadaisical in his body language when in those situations when he got the ball in the middle of the pitch. He would just pass it back to one of Kovacic or Jorginho, who both of them were just passing sideways as well.
Yeah.
So we weren't getting any penetration into the box, and that's something that I'm hoping the new manager kind of starts working on. That when we're in those situations where it's just one more pass to get into the box, let's try those passes. And yes, you won't run for it the first time, you won't run for it the second time, but the third time you'll be anticipating it and you will run for it and try to create something out of that. And that's the kind of football we need to play with the kind of players we have these days. These are players that can create something in tight situations. We just have to start putting them in those situations. If Havertz is playing at the half line, Havertz will never do anything that's productive for us. He has to be in a position where he's near about the box, on the top of the box or somewhere near there, and then we can either work through him or target him with crosses, etc., and Giroud as well. So it's just about kind of sort of seeing the patterns. We seem to favor falling into these familiar patterns of passing, which necessarily don't really lead to anything, but it's the comfort zone. Everybody's used to just turning around and passing it back. And that was my take on it. It'll take time. I don't think I thought we saw a lot of positives today in terms of general energy at the start of the game. I think Callum,
especially in the first 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, Callum was fantastic. I think for large parts of the game, but you can see everybody's rusty. The rest of the team can't match Callum's pace, and that kind of holds Callum back as well. Because he fizzes those crosses in and nobody's ready to actually reach them. So that will change. That will change. I think if we drill more as a team, especially with the rotation that we need with all these players available, especially on the benches, these things should improve. But we saw a formation that we hadn't seen in a long time. So that was a positive for me today to start with.
Yeah. And I think with Havertz, I think it's a confidence thing as well. That way he's just making easy passes rather than trying to be a bit braver. Because glimpses of Havertz. Do you see that one where I can't remember? Was it Ziyech passed the ball, and I thought he was going out of play, and he just plucked it out of the air when he was near the corner. He just controlled it so obviously. And it's just things like that.
With the back heel.
Yeah, he's got it in his. He's got it, and even there's a couple of nice touches he did as well. But I think with him, sometimes he needs to. I'm not sure if it's his style, which is similar to Ozil, which makes him look a bit late. But I think
it won't work.
Yeah, I think sometimes he can just need to put in a little bit more effort. And Premier League, you have to be brave. There was an opportunity where it was a 50-50 challenge,
and he backed out of it.
He backed out of it.
Yeah, this is 100%. I thought nobody spotted that.
No,
Literally everything you're saying, it's spot on. Like in the Premier League, you have to be brave. You have to be that. You have to fight for your space. He's like you said, an Ozil type player where they've got the talent, but can you find the space? I know everyone's saying he needs to play closer to the box, but that's where it gets more harder. The higher you go up, because smaller teams, they'll let you have it maybe in the first quarter above the halfway line and in your own half. But as soon as you get near the box, that's where they set up the low blocks, and they don't want you to get past it. So when he tries to walk around, and he's just, I don't know if it's his style of play, but for me, he's just trotting around and he's got his gloves on. He's he just looks a bit too comfortable. He has to really like try and drop a shoulder. And there was one moment where he passed it and dropped his shoulder and tried to get in behind. And that was the only time I saw a bit of dynamism in his play. But all in all, it's everything's really in front of you. It's really...
And there was that one as well. Remember when he did that run? He showed a bit of pace, and you could
pace. Yeah.
My word, this guy can. Why don't we do it more often? Because he's got that turn up. And I said he beat a couple of, and then he just couldn't get the shot off in the end. But that's why I want to see a little bit more dynamism from him.
That 100%. Not just for him, from everybody. We need to all anticipate as a group, as a team, those kind of situations, those kind of runs, and try for them. One thing that I wanted to say was that the team as a whole, there's no dynamism on the ball with venom toward goal. Like nobody wants to just, I have the ball, I'm going to go for goal now. It's just like, who can I pass it to, right? Nobody wants to take that ownership of, I have the ball and I have a yard of space. What am I going to do with this situation towards goal?
I think Hudson-Odoi probably out of all of them would probably try.
Yeah.
And especially with that shot. Remember when he went over to the left and he had that shot, which had it not had that little deflection to where the goalkeeper made I think that's the only save that Patricio made, wasn't it? I think in the game. So
I think when you look around, just to quickly add, if you look around top sides in Europe, not only the league, but if you look at, I just like to comparing positions, and I think in that position, if you're talking about Champions League as well, you always look at the top teams. They've got a player. Like you look at Man United, they're flying at the moment. Bruno Fernandes in that 10, he drops out, he drops in, he picks up the ball. You got Maddison, number 10, he's flying, he's running, he's tackling, he's coming back, he's shooting from far. I just think for us, we don't have that style of player. Mason Mount has got the tenacity and the space and that dynamism that we're talking about, but talent-wise, I don't think necessarily at the moment. I won't say he can't get there, but at the moment, I don't think we're seriously lacking. That's what Havertz was brought in for, but he reminds me of sort of the old style number 10 that used to do good. Like you said, the Ozils that kind of get the space and slow down and speed up, and it just you can't play him away from home. I think Arsenal fans were saying at one point, like you can't. That's crazy. Like for us, you need to be able to pick up the ball. And in the Premier League at the top, you look at Liverpool's midfield, the best team in the Premier League for the past 2-3 years. You go in that midfield, there's no standout players, but I know for one thing, you're not going to beat any of those guys for tenacity, bravery, dynamism. You know what I mean? They don't pull up big numbers in terms of output, that midfield, but they work for every inch in that midfield to win their team possession, so their front players can work. So I think in that midfield, we need to just overhaul it with, at minimum, we don't get beat for energy. At the moment, we're getting beat for energy. And as soon as the ball transferred over to Wolves, they look like scoring at certain points, which is still a bit of a worry as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's slightly better though, because I thought the gaps there wasn't too big a gaps between the midfield and defence today. But yeah, there were a couple of chances. Like Neto, had he shot that ball a bit lower, then they could have had another smash and grab against us.
But I'll jump off if anybody wants to. I'll jump off if anybody wants to. If anybody waiting in. So
there's nobody in the fingers yet. There's nobody on the waiting list. Yeah. So, Alex, were you going to say something?
No, the one that Neto almost scored was Mendy's.
Mendy's mistake. Wasn't it? Yeah.
So it wasn't actually like in general like anything. He just had to make a simple pass to Spilicueta, and he tried to do a long pass. That's how it kind of happened and stuff. But with Havertz, I think he's 21. You know what I mean? Like Bruno Fernandes, when he was 21, where was he? I mean, like no one knew he was like until. I mean, we can't. Yeah, I mean, I think there is that kind of similarity of Havertz and Ozil, but I mean,
I think it'll have to be.
I wasn't saying it in a negative way, the Ozil. I just said that's his style because. Yeah.
He'll have to change a little bit, and maybe our expectations will have to understand that. That's how
he'll understand the league. He'll start to understand that in the league. He's got to
it's
change.
good that he's coming this early. It's good that he's this young and learning.
Exactly. Yeah. I always use the likes of the Robert Perez's back in the day and other people who needed a season to adjust. There are certain players like Fernandes who can hit the ground running, but there's others. Fernandes, as Cruz, you quite rightly said, was it you, Cruz, or Alex? No, it might have been Alex who said that he's coming in as a 21-year-old. Fernandes came into Manchester United as a 25-year-old.
He's in his prime.
So, and we also got to remember about the COVID situation as well. talking from experience, I've just got over the COVID, and he's had it, and so he's still trying to find his fitness as well.
I do want to see him though, kind of under Tuchel. I think under Lampard, it wasn't the best. So I'm interested to see. Like you can already tell that this is probably his best performance he's had. Like besides the hat trick that he got against, who was it, like in the FA Cup or the Capital One Cup, like besides that game, this is probably his best game for Chelsea this whole season. I mean, he looked a bit more, even when he got the ball and just started running. We didn't see that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, there was a point where he just started dribbling 3 or 4 players and like.
I think if this is a position which is slightly further forward is something that suits him, and so obviously I think he was playing with 2 10s behind the striker, so I think that's a better position for him. I think
the Timo Werner and Havertz are both kind of confident, kind of like they're kind of the kind of confident kind of players, you know, where they need that kind of confidence to kind of perform, you know, and but yeah, you know, well.
I just think that they're all kind of similar in that they want to run in behind, and we have to play that kind of football where we put them in those positions over and over and over, and it'll start clicking over eventually. But we can't pretend like we're a cross and head the ball in kind of team. We're not, unless we have Giroud up front. Nobody else heads the ball for us.
Yeah,
but that's how we play.
Yeah, and it's such a pity
like that's the team we are.
Yeah. It's such a pity, I was saying, that Havertz didn't score that header right near the end.
Oh my god!
Because had he done that, when you think about it, confidence levels would have gone sky high.
Yeah. So between Giroud and Havertz, those are the only 2 guys that I have expectations for on actually getting head to ball when we cross. Everybody else is just it's just a coin toss, right?
Zuma as well.
Zuma, that's why. When we don't have corners, I think no, Zuma's not playing. We're not going to score.
Rudiger looks shaky, you know. Oh my god, some of the things he just looks. He just looks like he's can't
everybody looks shaky.
He looks but Rudiger he looks like he's got like something wrong with his legs. I don't know, but he runs.
Yeah,
he's got some funny way of running and walking.
Every time he's on the ball,
oh my god, like I just.
Sorry, go ahead, man.
I don't have any trust in him. Every time he's on the ball trying to defend, like I'm literally like, even when he did the foul, for the free kick, you know, that was quite close, and it's like it wasn't that hard. He just had to head the ball, and he just misses the whole. I don't know. I hope he gets better on the Tuchel, but it does look like he might be playing more. You know, I hope not, but anyways, I think in the summer Chelsea will go for a centre back. So.
We have to. We definitely.
Yeah. As bad as he was, I thought that Silva was solid today.
Oh my god, he was
brilliant.
There was so many times he was just so relaxed on the ball, like so many times where he just like it just shows how much of a world class centre back he is compared to Rudiger. Even scenarios where like his decision making, and say like a ball's coming over his head, he actually like predicts that the attacker doesn't tackle him, thinking that the attacker is going to head the attacker thinking, like Thiago Silva is going to head the ball, and he just controls it on his chest and puts the ball. And there's just a sense of like awe and kind of he's just relaxed on the ball. You know, doesn't panic. Like it's just
he brings a lot of calmness to the
calmness.
I'm just hoping that the others are watching and learning from him as well.
A
bit too late for Rudiger to learn, but I'm hoping that some of the other players can learn from him. Yeah.
It's interesting with Rudiger because the club wanted to sell him, didn't they? So maybe they'll, I don't know, will they give him a new contract because Tuchel wants him or something? I don't know.
No, I think he's gone. I think
he will leave. I think he will leave.
I think they're waiting for the summer for someone to put in a good deal. But I think from now to the end of the season, I think he's kind of in the shop window. It has to be.
Yeah. If Tuchel wants to keep his job at Chelsea, then he has to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, he'll know.
he's a liability, mate. So.
He is.
Yeah.
Chilwell wasn't that good today. I don't know why, but he wasn't. Just even the thing is with Chilwell, it's just like I haven't seen him like trying. He's quick. He's not slow. So like trying. I don't know. Like maybe Lampard has gone in a way of playing such a way that now he's kind of lost his touch of how he kind of play. But he doesn't run with the ball as much. You know, trying like maybe go through a play or something.
He's an old school style left back. Like, I don't think there's much
Yeah.
difference between. I don't even know. This might seem a bit harsh, but I've been saying it. It's not reactionary because I haven't been a massive Chilwell fan. But even if you look at someone like Wayne Bridge, even he could get forward into certain areas. Like Ben Chilwell, like Burton Baller said at the beginning, he's just a true left back. He's just gonna tackle, clip a ball up the line. He doesn't want to do too much running. He'll support and do an overlap run and help the winger out, but he's not gonna do what Adoy offered in a wing back position. He's not a wing back at all.
I think
he's not a wing back.
The first game, and we can't judge him. Maybe he doesn't want to be seen as being out of position in front of the new manager either, right?
No,
so the manager puts an arm around him and say, "It's okay for you to take that space, and I'll make sure somebody drops in behind to cover for you." In those situations, that will evolve probably. But I could understand him being conservative in the first game, because you don't want to be that guy that the manager says, okay, he didn't know what he was doing, and Alonso, you're in next game.
Yeah, you play the safe.
You're in next game. So I think that was just him being conservative and mindful of his positioning. But yeah, there were opportunities for him to run on to down the line and across, cut into toward goal, and he just did not take them. And
I think that's The worst mistake was he didn't get the shot on target. That was like the big chance in the game.
If he just
It
took
was a tough chance. It was a volley. I mean,
but he had time, didn't he, to take a touch on that one?
No, literally, the ball was there was no one around them. Havertz brought the ball back. If he just took a touch and a shot, I think he would have scored. He just rushed it.
I think. Go on, sorry.
No,
you're talking about that other one, not the volley. You're talking about the one where
Havertz,
the one excellent bit of play that we had, and Havertz cut it back to him.
Havertz cut it,
he had so much time for that one. Yeah,
so much time. But he needs to improve that in his game, because let's say he wants to get to the levels of Robertson, for example. He needs to improve that in his game. He needs to have a bit of more quality on the ball. Sometimes even when he's trying to do kind of clever thing, sometimes he doesn't always look as sharp, but that comes with it. He's still young, he's only 23, so
in those situations these days, I find that most of our players give in that spot where Chilwell was today, just try to stand and shoot, as opposed to taking a touch, moving with the ball, maybe try drop a shoulder and then take a shot. We just stand there and just shoot and hit the first man and think that we did our job.
Confidence. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think something else as well. Robertson is really physical. He really drives into the box. He causes defenders a lot of issues. So Chilwell needs to try and really add that sort of dynamism in his game.
Even if you look at Tierney as well at Arsenal, he's similar as well.
Yeah, direct. They're direct.
Yeah, really direct.
They seem hungrier. Like Chilwell doesn't seem hungry. He's playing it safe, I think. That's the best way of putting it. But but he's doing his job. I mean, he didn't have a bad game, but I think there was points in his game. I think he can improve.
I think we didn't look exposed. We didn't look exposed on the left, but I think he, like I said, I don't want to go too hard on him, but I don't think because you have to remember, modern game now, the fullbacks are sort of, if not the most important players, because they get a lot of the ball. If you look at that game, the midfield was packed, and whenever we had an outlet, Hudson-Odoi always picked up in space. Why? Because, like I said, those extra midfielders are drawing people into them, and it's allowing the ball to go wide. Because remember, teams will always rather possession go wide than be through the middle. You can't score from the wing, but you can score from the middle. So they allow us to get the ball on those sides. So he has to, I don't know, for us to have a good season, I know he's still a bit young, some of you are saying, and I think, you are right, but he has to, we need him to perform well, because we can't bench him because he costs so much money. He's actually one of our most important players. A lot of people talk about Havertz and being in the number 10, but actually, if you look at the modern game, Liverpool's wingers in their output for the last 2 years have contributed way more than a Jordan Henderson or a Gini Wijnaldum or a Fabinho. So you have to remember that fullback in most teams nowadays at the top European level, it's all in the fullbacks. It's all in the fullbacks.
Exactly. And why are Liverpool not doing so well at the moment? That's
because they're fullbacks.
Trent's going on the
100%.
100%. Trent's not performing. He's burnt out, isn't he, a bit? Robertson's still performing a bit, but his levels have dropped this season, and it's affected Liverpool. Yeah. So what do you guys think of
what's funny
go on. Was that who was talking? Eric. Tyron, go on, Tyron.
I don't remember if it was here or if it was over on Baggy TV's channel, but someone mentioned about Alonso fitting this game in particular. Now the chance that Chilwell had at the back of my head, when after that I was wondering what would have happened if Alonso was on the field or Emerson. And I've realized recently, I don't know why, but Emerson is starting to pass Chilwell in some aspects of the game. Uh, Currently Chilwell should start over Emerson, but recently Emerson is offering a bit more. But
I think
it's
But he's a
Emerson's
still,
better
been given
dribbler, isn't he?
to.
He's a better
I
dribbler
think
than he is.
I think
yeah.
Emerson's also been given some license as well in those situations to kind of just drift around the just to just break lines and break passing lines. Um, I don't think when Chilwell is played or Alonso are played, they're given that license because we're counting on them to defend. So if there's somebody behind Emerson looking out for him going on a run, that works out. Otherwise, it's very easy to get egg on your face too in those scenarios. But I like when he goes roaming. I like it kind of like with his all his fancy hair and whatnot, him floating around. it, it takes it adds something that we don't have usually in terms of something unexpected. We kind of become predictable in all our passing lines, right?
Yeah.
Nice. It's nice for somebody to just try to break it up a little bit.
Mm. And another thing, I'd like to see our players work on their bad foot because, for instance, Ziyech, he's so left-footed, and that becomes easy to defend against. So he's always trying to get onto that.
Which is why I think he needs to play deeper somehow because it's too easy to be shown one way otherwise.
Yeah. In Holland, it was a lot easier. It's not as intense as over here. So he's gonna get more opportunities. But in this league, where you don't get a moment's rest, they're always on you. The defenders, you need to.
I think all our players, all the new ones, are finding that out the hard way.
Oh
because
my goodness.
Havertz is the same as well. Everything's got to come onto his right.
And it's just that we're
not
Chelsea.
Havertz, sorry, Werner. Sorry, Werner.
And and no matter who we're playing, the opposition brings their A game. We don't get easy games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's so sad though. It's very sad. I don't know. Rory's just really, 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 really crazy right now. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He's forget about him. Forget about.
Yeah, don't worry about it because what you're going to have. As I said, I called it when we did the stream the other day. What we're going to have is you're going to have. It's his first match in charge because he didn't want Lampard to go. A lot of people are still emotionally attached to Lampard, so anything that the new manager does, Tuchel does, is going to be under the microscope. And Lampard had that as well when he first joined because a lot of people didn't want Sarri to go. So it's the same effect, and then you're going to have people just I'll just ignore those sort of people anyway.
Yeah. So for the Lampard in crowd, everything was a mistake. Where my point of late was that nothing is a mistake. Everything Lampard does is deliberate, and that's probably why the change was made. It wasn't that he was learning and making mistakes. It was he was playing very deliberate. People, formations, everything was deliberate. Nothing was a mistake. He had the time to think through what he was doing, and he chose to do whatever was being done. And at some point, the writing was on the wall that if this is how he keeps playing for the rest of the season, we might not be able to make Europe. We might not be able to make Champions League. We might not have the ability to meet financial fair play next season or whatever the requirements are for the club to operate at that level. And it wasn't mistakes anymore. It wasn't like he was trying 50 things and they didn't come off. It was like he was trying very specific things by the end, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was it had become rigid in terms of what he was trying to accomplish on the pitch.
Yeah, I've got Mr. Green Turf in the house. Does anyone want to let him in? He's on the bench at the minute.
Yeah, I'll jump
drop it.
Who said that?
I don't mind yet. Check Chris. Oh,
okay then. Oh, I think McCall's just done it. So this is. Hey, Green Turf, how you doing? I heard you had some
You hear me?
Technical difficulties. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
I
hear you.
just I watched this video not before it came on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on Tuchel's first game?
I don't know. 0-0. We didn't concede. We didn't score. So it's kind of 50-50, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said before, I'm not gonna be very hard on him. It's the first game.
Yep.
He only had like one training session. So I don't want to be one of those angry guys that will just punish Tuchel just because of Frank Lampard, you know? It's the same thing that Frank Lampard suffered from other fans. He just Sarri left, and everything Frank Lampard is going to do is just bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
No matter what,
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. Yeah.
Just
We
like
would have lost that game today, I think, with Lampard.
really?
I
don't think
think
so.
we would have lost. I think they would have just scored on a counter.
No, I don't think so. I think the team was coming together, and I mean that was a must-win game for him. That is just my opinion, but I respect yours, bro. But I think
No, I can't predict anything.
Yeah.
I think the team was coming together. Bill Gilmore was going to be in the middle, and we were.
It's all coming out now.
You sound really
It's all
depressed.
coming out
You sound
now.
really sad.
So, what do you think about the selection then, Green Turf?
The selection, just like I said before, I can't really. What can I say? He came last night. He had just one training session. He just based his formation on experience. Yeah, just like pick a bunch of guys, go out there and play for me. So I'm gonna just say it was good because that's what he thought was good. So I'm not gonna just jump now and say Timo could have done better than this and that. And if I have to go to that road, it's gonna be just me against the people. So let's just give him a chance and see what's gonna happen next game. I think next game is gonna be better because
it's gonna have 3 days with the team.
3 days,
more
kind
sessions.
Assess people, watch more videos, and all that. So I think we're gonna. But Burnley next, right? They are doing
Burnley
good.
next. Yeah,
they're doing good. They beat Liverpool
and Villa.
So that is going to be a tough game. But
I want to watch that game though. I want to see how the actual game planned out. If Burnley actually sat back and just, I was thinking, like, how the hell did Burnley score 3 goals? I haven't watched the highlights yet, but
they were behind twice as well.
Yeah, I was wondering, did Villa dominate that game, or just Burnley kind of just did the old-fashioned kind of nick and kind of just nicked 3 goals from set pieces? I don't know, but because I can see it being a very similar game. The thing is with these kind of teams where they do defend, once you score 1 goal, you're definitely gonna win the game. It's just about there's a high chance you're gonna win the game. You're just kind of unlocking that thing. Chelsea have been pretty good against Burnley kind of in the past, and also it's at home and it's not a tough more, I think. So, I mean, give it another 3-4 days and with Tuchel on there, I think, I think hopefully we win the game, But,
the only problem I have with certain people is that when Frank Lampard was in charge, they didn't give him any time or any credit. It was all about, you have to perform now. We don't want to hear any excuse. Can you imagine if Frank Lampard made a change at 75 minutes and Timo Werner on the bench and changing system? It was going to be, files and files of red flags here and there. Why you didn't do this and that? I saw it even day one when Frank Lampard started at Chelsea Football Club against Man United last season. For the same people now are saying, okay, it's the first game, this and that. You have to understand them. But back then, it was not.
There was no chances. There was
no chances.
They hit the ground running. And what makes me laugh?
That's happening now. That's happening right now.
But you make a great point because I went on Twitter and some of the people have criticising Frank for the way he's played. The same people are saying, "Oh yeah, it's a great start by Tuchel. Okay, they're unlucky not to get the thing, but the passing was good." But okay, the first 15 minutes was quite good, fast, crisp. But the next 75 minutes, let's not kid ourselves. It was similar to what we were experiencing under Frank.
I agree.
Lots of passing, getting the ball in, nobody on the end of crosses, and not creating a lot of chances. So it wasn't a lot different. So, but it's just people's narrative, because those who wanted Frank to go, they don't want to be proven wrong. So there's,
agendas. People have agendas. That's why.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
because Tuchel is a well-known name and he's won trophies, so you don't criticize him as much.
Yeah.
You're like,
but they don't want to look silly either, do they?
Yeah.
What do you say, Alex? Alex is not happy about that.
No, but like it's just like it's just like but like you only arrived last night, and like the players are kind of still
completely understand. I was the first to defend him, but the problem is nobody was defending the other manager because they didn't like him in a personal level. Because you need to win. That's Chelsea,
No, just saying, I think Chelsea could have maybe turned around, but the problem is Chelsea aren't the kind of club to take that risk. Look, I would be the first person to say that I wanted like Lampard. I think every single Chelsea fan wanted Lampard to succeed. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a business game, and
not every single Chelsea fan. I think there were some who were still pining for Sarri, and they didn't want.
No. I mean, yes, of course.
Rational.
I mean, in sense of like, let's say it was like this kind of season where we got top 4 last season. Everyone wanted Lampard to kind of succeed, but look, it's a business kind of game. We spent we spent 250 million, and being 9th after spending all that money, it's so bad for TV rights. All the it can be detrimental on buying players for the future, and also like just in general the whole kind of squad. And that's not Chelsea, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? The best thing is, don't get too emotionally attached to any individual, and that's what I find. So, I respect Frank as a player, but I judged him differently when he was a manager, and I wasn't emotionally attached. So that way, I can think more logically, because sometimes if we know we're thinking, oh, give him a bit more time because he's Frank and what he did for us as a player or whatever. I said he's going to be judged on what he does on the pitch.
The way I see it is that Frank Lampard, he was deluded just like me. What I mean by that is that he thought he was there for long term. And I think the board gave him some kind of guarantee that, hey, develop those youngsters and keep going. So for him, it wasn't necessarily about the result. It was about, getting better and better until you start really performing. But he didn't understand that maybe it was just a game played by Marina and Abramovich just to get us through the ban and then go back to his own way. So the way I see it is like Frank Lampard been very disappointed by what happened because he wasn't really playing for the result. But you can tell now Tuchel is playing for the result. Okay? I'm going to win. Like he said it. I'm here to win. Did you watch his interview? Not yet.
I haven't watched it yet.
He said, I'm here to win trophies. So somebody like that, I mean, he's not going to focus on you, whatever, Billy Gilmore, because he's not going to put you against Sheffield United and drop 2 points. For him, it's going to be, okay, we're leading 2-1. Billy Gilmore is not coming on. Just put somebody just to see the game out, get the result, and move on. That's the difference. So Frank Lampard was really deluded just like me, but he got just gamed by certain people. That's the way I see it.
Mentality. It's a German mentality that that Tuchel has because Werner said the exact same thing when he came. And Kai Havertz as well. About wanting to win trophies and and here to make an impact and all those type of things.
It's difficult to have the balance between using the youth players and winning trophies and winning games as well. But I think I still think it's possible. But I think the club just used Lampard. Really, I don't think the club ever.
Yeah. They just used. They
Of course they did. He was
he was the only one that was interested.
Yeah, that's it. And
so does everybody? So everybody thinks that the club told Lampard he would stay. Basically, what everyone's saying. But then, I can hear that. I can hear that. But then I'll just say quickly, why in every press conference for the past 6-7 weeks was Lampard saying, "I know the nature of the club, and I know that if the results aren't going my way," he literally every interview for the past 6 or 7 weeks, he kept reiterating the fact that if I don't get the results, I know what can happen. I know what this club is like. So why?
He even said that when he joined.
Yeah, he said that when he joined.
He wanted to be treated any differently.
I don't think the club necessarily promised him anything. I think he thought he could come in and because he done well last year with the youth. He thought that maybe I could incorporate a bit of youth and Timo Werner and things like that. That's why he persisted with Werner. But then, like I said in some of the other stuff, I think the club let him down with not sorting out the business. And maybe COVID kind of, because clubs didn't have money to buy players like Alonso. They didn't have an extra 12. Because Alonso is probably about a 10 to 15 million pound max signing. But this current climate, you probably go for under 10 mil. So the club probably thought, we need to sit on these assets, and he couldn't manage the assets. I think he couldn't manage the Rudigers, he couldn't manage the Alonsos, he couldn't manage the Jorginhos.
How do you manage those players? How do you manage those players when you have people who are better than them and they are senior figure in the dressing room? What do? You just play them?
Yeah, no, you don't. I don't think you should have played them. I think it's tough. You're right. I think that's the problem, and I think an experienced manager. That's why the club have brought in an experienced manager, because I feel like an experienced manager may know how to do that better. I'm not saying it's Lampard's fault. I'm not saying he wasn't necessarily dealt. I think he didn't get enough time, maybe, but because I would have given him till the end of the season to at least see what happened. But I think ultimately, if we're talking about £200 million spent and the changing room's already gone, I think the club didn't equate for the change room to be gone. I thought the club would think he's Lampard, everyone's going to respect him. But the players nowadays, modern players, they don't care who Lampard. They don't have no affiliation. Kovacic and Jorginho and these guys, they don't care who Lampard is. They don't. Whereas the other younger players, like you saw on the post saying goodbye, they respected him. They were like, "Look, well, thank you so much. We love you. We know what it is to be at Chelsea since I was 6 and all these things."
I don't believe what. Yeah, do you really think the club thought the Lampard would succeed? I really don't. I think they set him up to fail, because there's
looks like it. He was set to failure.
A rookie manager just started, be able to just magically work with all these players, an imbalanced squad, people not play, five centre backs, one centre back always be on the bench. I don't think they expected it to work out. I've seen a lot of things that was happening, from what I read from behind the scenes. Like I think over this time last year, like January 2020, Marina was already having issues with Lampard, and she was already having. So the start of the season, people were thinking everything is fine. No, there were already issues. There was already tension. They were looking to move out. They were just waiting for the form to flip, and then they'll sack him. That's what
The whole situation. The whole situation kind of changed my perspective about everything in life.
Yeah,
like I don't trust certain people. Like maybe I was deluded, or maybe I trusted too much, but I didn't really see Frank Lampard getting sacked. I thought he was going to walk on his terms, or they're gonna give him time to at least until the end of.
Can I quickly say something?
Yeah.
But look, if you think about from history, since Abramovich took over Chelsea, no manager has lasted more than 18 months. So if you do not judge on that, it was kind of that time when managers do get sacked.
Yeah.
No manager has ever lasted 2 years.
Or sooner.
You want to say something, Max?
Yeah, you know what? He was a manager of convenience. I do think he was a manager of convenience at the time, because no other manager was going to risk their reputation coming to Chelsea with a transfer ban, losing Hazard, etc. So that's why I feel
that's why I say that's why I see. That's why I think they made some empty promises to him to keep him so they don't damage his future, the future. So I said they just played him. They just used him for a particular reason, but they knew exactly what they were doing. Frank Lampard had a job. He was doing very good at Derby. You went there, you gave him some guarantee and to come to the team, and all of a sudden you start complaining about the lack of experience and losing the dressing room and all that. You see, that's why I believe that he was promised. He got some guarantee that, you know, we're gonna keep you until
the
the
Derby
end.
and Chelsea is quite different, you know. Derby and Chelsea's, but look, to be honest, like, you know, like, let's just like we've the things we've talked about Lampard and stuff. Lampard's the past, Tuchel's the future. Let's focus.
I just want to say, like, it's I don't have a major issue with the club. We know what the club is. We know how they do things. You know, they just keep sacking manager after manager. I understand, but I think people were led to believe that things were a little bit different. That's the problem. You know, as long as the club are very clear that this is the way we're doing things, this is we're a short-term club. We don't try to build things for the long term. This is how we do. Managers stay 2 seasons max and they leave. If that's the case, fine. You know, I'll just manage. I don't like it, but at least I understand. But it felt like they were saying one thing and doing something else. I felt like I was strict. You know, I thought things were a little bit different. Obviously, he deserves to get sacked based on the results.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a results-based business as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the thing is, had he carried on with the results, and then he would have stayed in the game. I think it was, from what I'm reading, you know, sometimes you don't know what to believe, because obviously always when someone gets set, you're going to get all these rumors coming in and out. But it was more than just the results. It was what was going on behind the scenes as well, and how he was handling things, and his experience was showing. Inexperience, sorry, was showing. That's what I'm hearing. I said I don't know, but that's what
I think. Chelsea's I think Chelsea fans are kind of, you know what I mean. Like, I think even me, you know, everyone's kind of sold the dream, thinking, oh, you know, Frank Lampard's coming to our club to be our manager, like a legend of Chelsea. You know, he's gonna kind of revitalize the whole club itself. But look, the only ever 2 managers that have ever been, you know, would say more than 10 years as a club was Wenger and but yeah,
Alex.
even Wenger's not a great
Ferguson.
example. Like even Alex Ferguson's a perfect example. You know, he rechanges him and he redeveloped like that. That's no more. There's not many other clubs that time is gone.
Even if you look at, go on, Karen, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, so even if you look at Tottenham and Pochettino, whilst they were being successful, they kept him. As soon as they had a run of bad results, out the door.
But the other thing with Lampard is that there was no, but Chelsea got 66 points. The last time someone got 66 points to qualify for Champions League was in 2005, I think Arsenal, 2006. So he did well for what he had, but then at the same time, I think you think, okay, you've done great. The problem is, I think if Lampard was 4th or 3rd, and there was only 4 or 5 points in it, I think he would have still kept the job. It was just I think it was just it was too much of a gamble to take on, you know. I think if it was more of an experienced manager, maybe he might have kept his job a bit longer.
The problem for me is not about the experience. The problem for me is that he was deluded. Like I said, like me, he thought he is Frank Lampard. He can just, you know, go slowly and surely. That's why I believe that he was given some insurance to continue doing what he was doing. If he was just playing for result, I'm telling you, it was going to be very different.
But that's not Chelsea. That's the thing.
In the background, something else was decided by some people. So
look,
I think
1 sec before we carry on, boys. Cruz, I know you said you won't mind going on the bench for a little bit because I want to bring in this Chelsea boy who's been waiting patiently.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'll just stick you on the thing and you can come back on in a minute. So let me just move you there and add Chelsea boy. Chelsea boy, mate, you've been waiting patiently. What you got to say?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thanks.
Hey, man, big up to all you Chelsea fans, man. And I want to say Big up to your channel. I like what you're doing, man, and I hope you do this more often because I like to
Thank you.
listen. I listen a lot, but I just want a minute to say a few things. We have to understand, we love our club. You understand what I'm saying? And we love
Yep.
Lampard. But people have to understand that this is a club. This is not a one individual thing. You understand what I'm saying? In the football world that we're living in now, it's result. It's result that's what speak. People, we fans, some of us fans have to get our emotion out of it and put it one side. We respect Lampard as a legend. We respect how he come in and he try. We all agree that yes, we would want him to get more time. But look into this, put this together now. When he get the job with we get the ban. We all know this once you're a Chelsea fans. We get the ban, we didn't get to bring in any player. He do fantastic with those player that he got, right? Okay. You own the club now. Any one of you guys own the club. Give him 200 and had to spend, right? We know people gonna say he need time. But you think that the owner going to take up his money, give him so much to spend, and expect to sit outside of the Champions League, not even to win the title, because we don't expect to win the title right now. We need more. You understand what I'm saying?
Chelsea
But
boy,
if
Chelsea boy, can I jump in? Can I jump in quickly?
Of course, I
All right,
appreciate
so
what you have to say, man.
yes, so there is a context behind the 200 million. It's just becoming just a narrative. Everybody 200 million. If you ask
Right.
yourself how many times those 200 million played together, and what kind of issues since they signed, you know, Hakim Ziyech with injuries like twice, Kai Havertz with you know, the virus, and
Starting to shake in my head because Manchester United has equalised, unfortunately.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, carry on. Carry on.
And Timo Werner just been poor. So you're
Right.
gonna say he's not getting the best out of the so-called 200 million, but nobody wanna talk about context behind that. If they were all fit and all firing and you can't use them, and then that is another situation. How many chances we created, and the person who was supposed like to bail us out, he doesn't do anything. And what
Who
you
is
got
that?
in big teams
Who?
like Timo Werner, how many one-on-ones he missed?
All
And
right. Let me ask you
sometimes
something. Let me jump in back
you
again.
just need one chance, one goal, you get 3 points and move on and continue the process. But nobody was scoring goals. We were creating chances.
All right.
But
This is what I want to say to you now. I'm going to jump in a little bit. I like what you're saying, and I'm not putting away what you're saying. You say some valid stuff there, but I think you leave out some of the things. And let me tell you why the pressure go back and Lampard. Now, I understand what you're saying. The coach, the head coach, the manager, whatsoever name you want to give him, have to find a way to give those players confidence. Listen, we didn't get up and buy these players like they leave from out of their mom, you know. You understand? These are talented players. These are players who were doing well before. And we don't even have to go back that far. We were doing well at the start of the season, right? Till everybody was pushing up about we're gonna win the league. I didn't frighten for that. But what make these things go so bad? It have to be from the head part. It have to be from the manager. Something he's not saying, something he don't know how to management or put his hand around somebody or just to bring back their confidence. You understand? I feel like that's where
they
it
are
goes
from the
wrong.
Bundesliga to the Premier League, brother. It's the
No,
Premier
I
League.
get that.
Do you
Yes,
think
I
that
get that.
confidence?
Hold on, I get that. But you know why I always answer and said? The pitch in the Bundesliga is not bigger than the Premier League. The goal don't move. You understand what I'm saying? You come there, you only don't use to the climate. You only don't use to the speaking. But come on, bro. We don't need 2, 3, 4 years to can score a goal. That's the confidence you need. I'm telling you,
So
the goal never
who
move.
are you gonna blame for the one-on-ones missing?
Huh?
You know,
That comes from the
who are you
confidence.
gonna
You know
blame
who I
on those
blame?
penalty,
I know it sounds silly. I know
even
it
the
sounds
penalty?
silly.
Yeah.
Right. I know it sounds silly. It comes from the manager. You have to find ways to make that players got confidence. It's like a confidence, you know. I'm telling you.
Even the
Huh?
penalty, you need
That's coming from confidence. I'm telling you. We don't have no confidence coming in the match. Come on, man. Listen, I listen to your channel. No, I listen to your channel too. I think you have a channel on a thing. You come on. I know you guys know football. He coming in the game have no confidence. When was the last time he scored? He going about what, 11 to 12 game now, don't score? You think he's gonna walk up and take a penalty and win it? Not? He's a confident, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah, let me step in for a minute. Yeah, I agree with what Chelsea boys say. Once the minute that Abramovich gave him 200 million to spend, he said, the minimum you can get is top 4. Minimum.
Thank you.
I want you challenging. Yeah. Even Tuchel's come in 12 points behind. Did you see what they were saying yesterday? They were saying we still want to challenge for the league, and I was thinking, really? I said,
Right.
there's no way, But that's
He's going to.
that's what Abramovich is looking at. Oh, what a run! That's what Abramovich is looking at. He wants to challenge. This year, it wasn't top 4. Top 4 wasn't the target. It was to get close. Everyone's saying
Close the
it's
gap.
quite ironic to close the gap on Liverpool, although we have closed the gap because we're only 4 points behind them. But obviously, close the gap on whoever's the top team. And so this season, with 9th or 10th wasn't going to be acceptable for Abramovich. Abramovich isn't going to accept those standards. And also what Chelsea was said, there was a culmination of games, even the 2 games that we won. The body language wasn't there. There was something not quite right. You could see that there was something not right with the way that the team were playing, because there's a lack.
Don't you think that the toxic deadwood who didn't play? So how do you fix that if you don't play them?
But
you know what I mean?
No. What I'm saying is still have a relation on Turf Green. This is still have a relation with them. Make they feel like they're important. I heard, we don't know, we're not behind the scene, but you can see it when they're sitting there. Players coming like the months they don't talk to the coach, like they're not even a part of the team. You're going to have those players trying to make problem. So make they feel important. Some of these cup games, make they come into it. Let me tell you, man management. I'm putting this something in it. You see, all right. I feel like Olanza is one of those problems. Kepa is one of those problems. Kepa get cup game. You see, when Olanza leave the team and go sit in the bus, we all know that you have to get a punishment. But after a punishment, you as a manager, you have your criteria. Move on from that. Get him into some of the cup game. Them, you understand? Get him back up, make him feel important. Say, listen, I want you to also start some Premier League game, but you have to show me these are your chance. See them cup game here. You get what I'm saying? But he fling him away. He fling him like he was even in the Chelsea squad. That's going to cause eruption. Yeah. That's going to cause problem. So
somebody like Marcos Alonso, okay? The club is supporting you. You're not performing good. You are out, okay? So instead of you supporting other players, you go to the bus to watch the game. What do you expect Frank Lampard to do?
That's what. No, you're not getting what I'm saying. You're not getting what I'm saying. Giving his punishment for that, but don't hold it against him as malice meant. You're gonna mash up your dressing room, and that's where the problem gonna come out. Still give him his punishment, whether for a week or whatever. Then get him back into training. Put your arms around his shoulder. Get him back on the training ground. Another FA Cup or Carabao Cup coming. You fling him in it, and give him the chance to go up there to fail himself, so make you see that he can't get in the Premier League match. But after that mistake that he make, you don't fling him away. Lampard is 42, bro. Lampard been there and done that. You experience. These are young players coming up. And when I say young player, I don't mean Alonso is 19. You get what I'm saying? But he's older than him. Right. He's older than him. So if you make that mistake, don't use him as an enemy. You're going to mess up your dressing room, because you cannot have a player in your dressing room not playing for 3-4 months you can put it and expect everything gonna go well. He's gonna in other players' name. He's gonna go around there. So he's gonna make things. As soon as he lose a match, its problems start to come down. You get what I'm saying? So put your hands around him.
Can I just add something?
Say it again?
Can I just add something?
Yeah, Eric.
Of course.
Can I just add something? I agree. I agree with what Chelsea Boy is saying. I agree with what Chelsea Boy is saying. And it also goes back to, I think it was yesterday, I don't remember, but I think we, with Baggy and everybody else, we were saying that it has to be a Spanish thing. Because I'm going back to Marisa Sarri now, because remember that Carabao Cup game?
With Kepa, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because even though, there was a disagreement there, obviously, but even though that happened, he got the punishment, but eventually came back into the team.
Came back, yeah.
So that's the thing that Lampard did wrong.
Thank you, bro.
Because there's so many things as well. But it can also be a Spain thing as well.
You can only put somebody back when he deserves to be back. Somebody like Marcos Alonso. Are you gonna bench Billy? Are you gonna bench Chile?
No, Turf Green. No, Turf Green. What I'm trying to say, Ben Chilwell play a lot of Premier League match to make our players feel like they are part of the group. Nothing to put him in a Carabao Cup or a FA Cup and let him feel like he needs to prove himself to go into a Premier League match. The next thing again, why you should never make it when you're running a club like this.
Emerson, the problem is that the squad is too big. Emerson is there.
No, Yeah, but listen what I'm saying. Listen
Well,
what I'm
that's
saying.
issue
This is how you get the best out of the squad. You don't make a player tuck up his foot today, Sunday, and say, "Oh, next week we're gonna play. This is my spot." No, make you worry each game, so you get 100%. He came in, Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell can tuck up his foot and said, "Left back is his own." Don't do that, man. Remember, Ben Chilwell even come out when we were on that run. 16 run or what? You guys can correct me. 16 run of unbeaten game. Ben Chilwell come out and said, "Oh, we feel like we can't get beaten." And after that happened, what started happening?
We start
We start to
games,
lose.
yeah.
We start to, bro. Come
Yeah,
on, bro.
they
I'm
got
not a manager.
comfortable.
Yeah, I'm not a manager, but I eat and drink football, bro. I watch Chelsea.
Mm.
I call out from work to don't watch Chelsea. I know you guys love Chelsea. I'm not going to disrespect you, but I don't even think you guys love Chelsea like how I love Chelsea. If Abramovich know me,
That's fair.
that me. I'm telling you, I'm serious with my team.
But hey,
No, I'm telling
I
you.
understand.
So
I
what I'm
completely
saying,
I respect that, Chelsea boy. I respect that, and I know also certain people can love Chelsea because of winning. But every
Right.
time that something goes wrong, we are out. I don't understand why
Yeah.
we don't support
Like what
the
you
team
mean?
when
Like what you
something
mean?
is wrong.
Like
Hmm?
what
Yeah,
you
the,
mean?
the main
Can I
reason.
say something? Can I just jump in and say something?
Yeah.
What we got to do as well, we've got to look at the board, because we were, as someone said before, we were left with the top-heavy squad. You know, you should never have a squad where you got 3 left backs in the squad
Yeah.
and 5 centre backs, because it's
That's
not going to
true.
work, and it's always going to be somebody who's
Somebody is,
unhappy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna have to
And I
be
think
left out.
what Mourinho needed to do, especially in this COVID era, she tried to get top dollar for some of these players. It wasn't going to work in this COVID era. Even if you're going to stand there, oh, Sheffield United has gone 2-1 up.
Get in there.
Somebody
Get
will-
in.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
putting-
Good
there.
job.
Get in there.
Good job.
Get
I'm
in
putting-
there.
Come on.
No,
Get in there.
VAR.
Ah.
Wait
Nice
for the
there.
VAR
Yeah,
decision.
wait for VAR. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's playing well for them?
Don't celebrate.
You know, guess who's playing
Get
well
in
for them
there.
today?
Right. I
Ampadu.
chew. Don't celebrate. Cause
Ampadu,
remember,
Ampadu.
don't celebrate.
He's playing well for them.
Yeah, don't
Somebody.
celebrate yet
So
until.
Max is cheating. He's
Keep it
watching
next
TV.
season.
I'm not
Own
even
goal.
watching
next
anything.
Was it own goal? Was
Wait,
it?
but
Let's have a look. I don't think there's any offside.
Come on, please,
No,
not do this. Don't do this to me,
No,
please.
there's no
Oh, gosh,
offside. There's
why?
no
It's
offside. I don't think.
come on.
Offside.
Okay,
Just
good.
wait
No,
5
there's no.
minutes.
It's an own goal anyway. It's an own goal by Pogba, not Pogba.
Oh,
Wait
that's
5
good.
minutes before
Zambia.
That's
celebrating.
good then.
Guys,
That
look,
is good. Absolutely
Wait
perfect.
5 minutes.
Let's just forget
Yeah.
about the past. Now what's done.
Yeah, I want to make
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying,
Anyway.
all right, back to your story. I want to hand
Yeah,
some
let's go
blazers
back.
on that.
Let's go back.
Yeah, I want to
just,
hand
Yeah.
some
first of all,
blazers on
can I
that.
just say something?
Okay, of course. Go ahead, man.
Can I
No
just say
problem. We have to
something?
learn from one another, you know? No problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to say,
Ampadu
here's
is
some-
coming back to Chelsea. I'm telling you, Rice is done here.
yeah.
Huh?
So,
Wow.
so I think the
Wow.
positive thing about Chelsea now is they seem to have some sort of idea of what they're trying to do. So like
Yeah.
they got a German manager now. So instead of a manager like Allegri, who was available, Roman decided to go for. I've just seen the own
Oh wow,
goal.
that was a beautiful goal. I'm telling you.
Beautiful
That-
goal.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
actually the player.
I was
It's
so
actually
annoyed,
it's the
man.
Sheffield United
Chelsea
player.
have won.
Sheffield United player. Sheffield
Off
United
the
player.
ball. Wow.
Sheffield United player. It's a good
Yeah.
thing too because he just came on.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
still
work.
15 minutes. So the VAR,
Yeah.
referees, everybody is going to do
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah. They'll probably put on another 10 minutes of extra time anyway.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah,
need
believe
to
it.
celebrate
No,
this.
I don't want to stray from our point, but you know I always said this though. I've been watching the Premier League and I said, Arsenal, Man U, I feel like these teams are lucky. You see, Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea, we have to work for our winnings. No referee. I would say this. I don't have my reason why I said this.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Sorry
true.
about that. I don't feel like no referee gave us any leapway. You have one name named Anthony Taylor. Don't let him. When you see Chelsea at the ball, man, oh my word,
Oh
man.
my!
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That,
So,
oh gosh, man.
so I'm
Yeah,
just saying
man.
though, some of these teams are really lucky. So I'm not too jumping it because Man U,
Yeah,
whether they
guys,
get
guys,
extra,
don't forget to like and
Share.
share,
Like button.
right?
share
Yeah,
the
yeah,
link to your social media and all that, please.
yeah.
Some like.
Yes, I'm
Appreciate it.
Bertrand, I want to
doesn't
tell you,
cost
man. I want you
anything.
to continue doing what you're doing, man. I love when you because I don't know if it's because I love football. Green Turf, you do the same
Yeah.
thing. I listen to your channel so many
Yeah,
times. I don't
man.
even know if you know that, man. I love football. I love
No problem. We
every
don't
time.
have, we don't have
What-
to agree, man. We don't have to agree on anything. We just support Chelsea.
Right.
Football.
Thank
Let's
you,
think about
thank you.
football.
No,
The
No,
good
but
thing about
what I
football is
like,
about opinions, isn't it? And
Yeah,
I love
Max.
opinions.
right?
If everyone
Yeah,
has the
I
same
know our
opinion, then
perspective.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But it's good. Sometimes we can understand one another and we learn from one another, because you may see something different. Because what I find out in my area, some of my friends they just love Lampard. They don't even. It's just some people just love Lampard, not just the club. You get what I'm saying? They love the Lampard itself, and we understand that. But you have to take him out of it a little bit. We know we all want him to get time, yes, but listen, we know the club that we support. It's Chelsea. We don't support a club like Arsenal or Tottenham or Man U stuck with their manager. We have to all understand this. Get what I'm saying? Let me tell you one thing again. And listen to me. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Let me tell you one thing again. You see, not even City like that. But you know why they stuck with Pep when he was starting off slow? They believe in him. They know what he can. They back him with the players because they have quality players. If you look on the bench and if you look on the field, everybody is like, you almost have to say this world class. You get what I'm saying? Look how you rebound back Stone again. Remember when Stone was at Everton, everybody was like, whoa, he's so good. And he go to Man City. Maybe the standard was too high. So he did. But he rebound him back. You get what I'm saying? If Lampard was a man like that, then we would stop with it because we know he have success under his name and under his belt already. We have to also remember Lampard is inexperienced.
It happened with Ancelotti. Ancelotti won the FA Cup and the Premier League and still got
he won a
sacked.
double with us. Yeah,
It's happened before.
Yeah.
It's not because we already know what happened. So it's not.
No. I think you're missing the point. No, I think you're missing the point. What I'm trying to say, the point is, if Lampard this is the Lampard club. The only thing Lampard don't have behind him now is the experience and the winnings. But they would fire him like that. Because Ibrahimovic, listen to me, man, what I'm saying. You ever see Ibrahimovic fire any coach and come out and make the comment that he made? Come on, man. He love Lampard. He respect Lampard.
Level of respect.
Right. He love Lampard. So if he did have...
man.
I'm telling you, if Lampard did have anything like Ancelotti or Jose Mourinho, he would get the time because we're just 5 points off top 4. I'm telling you, but because he know that, and I wanted to say something too. Before even this, they kind of use Lampard as a shadow because of what we were in, and they know top coach was going to take. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I know what's going on. We may not be, we may not in the board, but we're not fools. We love football, bro. We know what's going on.
There were two reasons. Sorry, can I talk about it? There were 2 reasons why he came in, and A was because of the situation, and B because of the remember it was a toxic fan base because a lot of the fans, the match going fans, didn't take to Sarri, so he knew that he can get the fans on board again.
Thank you, Mr. Blazers. I'm telling you, you're so correct.
That's why he brought him in, and it was, and I feel that it was just an appointment of convenience, similar to the Roberto Di Matteo one, because Roberto Di Matteo wasn't never going to be the first choice for Abramovich, but obviously, how can you, a man who just won the FA Cup and Champions League, you have to give him the managerial job, but I always knew that it was. I always knew the first moment it would go wrong, Di Matteo was out the door because he wasn't his first pick. You know.
Listen, man, I'm just laughing here because we have Thomas Tuchel in the chat, and then we have Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe Biden.
Hey, Thomas Tuchel, welcome, mate, welcome.
And you let you play him out more.
And he says,
He
says the board want me sacked already.
Board already want me sacked. Oh, lovely.
T-shirt,
I love that. I love that.
Oh my god, yeah, that's so nice.
Come and talk to me too. I'll give you a few talks on tactic details. Love it.
And Sleepy Joe Biden.
This is funny.
That is the beauty of football, man.
Yeah.
This is why we love football.
Joe Biden doesn't even know what football is.
So
that's lovely.
I've got a question for you guys. Did you see how CH today wasn't actually playing on the wing, but was actually kind of
in the midfield?
He was more. Yeah, he played in the. Yeah.
He was kind of like in those pockets. He was playing in kind of those kind of pockets areas. So.
I have this thing with every manager. I just hope that they can just stay long enough to do something. Do something substantial. before they inevitably get sacked. So I'm really hoping that Tuchel can do something. He's not in a position where the board are just looking for us to go on a poor run so they can sack him and get rid of him.
But
What's
the
this?
thing is, Tuchel knows that he's coming to a club where they demand high and want trophies.
Yeah.
So he knows that he's not going to be there for long because, as the history tells, no manager's been longer than almost 2 years at a club. Maybe Mourinho back like the very first time Mourinho came in, but
yeah,
he knows what he has to do.
Hello, Mr. President.
The recruitment is better. I think the recruitment is better than before. So they're getting the right profile of players, to give the manager the best chance.
So, Max,
but you know what?
Go ahead.
I keep saying it's a results business, and it is a results business. So if Tuchel, if Thomas Tuchel comes in and starts winning stuff, then he will stay for 3 or 4 seasons.
Hopefully.
Thank you. That's right.
Hopefully.
It's result. It's result.
Hopefully.
We all know it's result.
Hopefully.
And
I don't want us to be sacking managers like that.
Yeah. The only time we didn't sack someone on results base was Jose Mourinho's first spell. And you know what?
I think he fouled out with the players. He lose the dressing room. So maybe that's
I was
the
at
problem.
the game. We played against, I think it was Molde or a Norwegian game in the Champions League. And I went there with my brother. And the way that the team were playing in the body language, we turned around and said, he's not going to last long. And about 2 weeks later, seriously. Yeah. That's why that's another reason I thought Frank would have got, because I just looked at the body. Sometimes you look at the body language of the players, and that's why I said no. I said I wasn't looking at the results. I was just looking at the body language, the performance, the demeanour, and I said there's something not quite right in the dressing room at the moment.
I want to ask. I want to put out a question and ask all of you guys, and I want to hear your opinion on it. All right. So based on what you're saying right there, people been saying that it's a player club. What you guys think? Like, when I said that, let me clarify myself more so you can have a full understanding. They said it's a player club, so the players get manager fired. Can you each give me a take on that?
You can't fire 25 players.
It's been like that for ages, and Frank was involved in it himself when he was a Chelsea player. So no, that's the irony.
Came against him,
because they got a few players, managers sacked. I remember what they used to disrespect AVB, didn't they? Because they didn't trust in him.
Yeah, man.
So my question. Yeah, my question. You all agree with that? It's a player club?
No. I'm gonna say what Lampard said. If that was the case, then Roman Abramovich would probably say, and this is a expletive, so I'm not gonna say what it is, but Roman would say you all are, just you get paid money, just go and play until the manager leaves if he doesn't do good. That's exactly what it's about AVB.
Well, to me, I don't believe in that thing. I don't think it's a player thing. People said it's a player strength player club. I don't think so, because let me tell you, if 1 or 2 player, and this is where man management come in. If I fall out, if I'm the manager and I fall out with 1 player, I don't think I'm gonna fall out with half of the squad. It takes 11 players to be on the field, right? I don't how much normally would be in the squad for the Premier League then? How much they would put in the squad? Can you give me an update on that? Is it 15 or 24?
25 is in the name squad, and then
in the name squad, right?
It only takes 1 player to have a bad.
That's what I'm gonna say now. That's what I'm coming down. That's what I'm coming down to. So you have 11 played. 11 gonna happy who you pick, right? And who on the bench to come on. They're gonna happy. Then the one player that's gonna start the corruption now, that's the player you need to find out as quick as possible. Put your hands around him. Find a way out to drain that bad virus out of him before it spread. Because let me tell you something what happened. That's how it spread in the dressing room. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's why it's coming back to what I'm saying. I don't believe it's a player club, because if you as a manager, if you know how to management a player, don't let it get out of hand and get it to that far. And that's how you're going to lose the dressing room. Because once any manager can tell you this, any manager lose the dressing room, that's it for any club.
Come on, Sheffield,
and we see,
come on.
Yeah,
we see it with
the problem we have now. Can I say something?
Yeah,
of course.
The problem we have now with the young generation is I'm sick and tired, man. It's always you have to beg somebody. You have to put your arm around. You're getting too much money, man.
Right.
100K a week.
I want to correct you on that.
Too
I
quick,
want
too
to add
fast.
to that. I know why. You know why? It's money.
Right.
It's money time. It's money time. You guess what has happened? These players getting so much money, so they don't even care if they get arms around them anymore. Because guess what? If I'm not getting the big week check here, I start to talk to my agent. I want to move. I start to make problem. I go to another club. Start the money again. It's money. It's not in the long time when player playing from their heart and love the game. You get what I'm saying? All about this is money. Google up all of these. Google up all of these. Say it again.
The way was top. The players were upset about the way Lampard was criticizing them when he did the interviews. That was part of it.
You know what? I did a video on this ages ago, and I said four or five things that Frank Lampard needs to improve on. And one of the things I did say is he needs to take responsibility sometimes. He threw the players under the bus a lot. You do that in private, and again, that comes from experience. You don't do that in public because that's not going to get the players on side when you say when you criticize them. If you look at some of the other, did you see Jurgen Klopp the other day after their loss?
Yeah,
he took the blame fully on himself.
Thank you. I'm glad you were watching that one too. Right?
Yeah. So he
that's
didn't
something
say,
that we don't do.
Yeah, and football is about psychology as well. So you need to learn that psychology side of the game. I've got a brother who supports Liverpool, and he said, I think before they've started to become good, they drew 2-2 against West Bromwich Albion. Yeah, and you know what Klopp did? He made them go over to the fans, to visit the supporting fans, and clap. And my brother said at the time he found that embarrassing. They just drew with West Brom, but he's telling the fans to go over and clap. But you know what it did? It got the fans on side with them, and they got that relationship with him. So everything's got a big picture with the managers, the psyche side of the game.
That's what I want to add to it.
A reason.
That's what I want to add to it. A lot of people think that this is what I would. A lot of people think that when you're a manager, you just need to have the tactics and put them on the field and said and have these world class players and said, okay, we're gonna win game. No, it's a lot of things come behind that. You see that simple thing that you just said, Blazers? Those little things, you have to know how to play a mind game. One of the problems I have with Lampard with people, because I love Lampard and I was so happy when he's there. Because I watch him play, I feel so proud. I feel like, I'm really a part of it. So it's not that I want him out, but I want you to understand one of the problems I see with Lampard. Lampard have a style like this. You're winning, Lampard on the sideline, and he's doing 100%. When your team is losing and need you, jump out quiet. Let me tell you one of the psychology that Lampard needs to use. Say
Somebody is praying. Alex is praying. Is in deep prayers right now.
Alex, they're going to put on 7 or 8 minutes. You know that.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Come on, boy. Well, I know. What's this?
Forget about it. It's 2-2.
They'll bring back.
No, bro.
Amazing game.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm watching it live.
So, what do you think about today's crossing? Because I saw some crosses that didn't really do anything.
Yeah, but we didn't cross much.
Hold on, say that again.
Oh, the crossing.
Cross and hop.
We didn't cross that much. We crossed.
You know what?
You're talking the ball?
Much.
Yeah, I think it was more Giroud. I thought Giroud was just had one of his poor games because sometimes he has it where he's static.
All right.
So
this is what I want to say. Not mean to cut you off. Sorry, but you see, on today's game, I didn't expect much. You understand? The guy just walked in 6 p.m. yesterday evening.
Yeah.
So he just pick up these players, and these 11 that he pick up, maybe it's not even his best 11 in his mind, but he just put them out there as more experienced. And all of these guys was trying to impress him, and at the same time, these guys have the Lampard DNA same way in them, and the confidence has gone. The confidence is not up yet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As soon as he can get the as soon as he can get them confident up again, we don't play through. Let me tell you what's the problem I have with Lampard. We do not play through the line. You understand? We do not know how to change up our game. We play one way, down the wing, and
cross.
Sometimes, right? Sometimes we have to change up that. We still see that today. Jorginho was so slow. Yeah, Jorginho was so slow on the ball and scared to pass through the line. We need more of that.
Yeah.
So we don't expect too much today.
Yeah.
You know what, brother? Chelsea ball. This is exactly what we say back home in Paris about Tuchel. So I'm just asking people to just also be patient.
You said he cross a lot. He do the
Yeah,
same thing like
it's
cross a lot.
just like inshallah, like give it to Mbappe, give it to Neymar and Icardi, and do the rest. So back home we call him. You know, one of my problems is like I'm gonna stuck with Tuchel for more than 6 years of my entire life because I watch every single game of PSG because of my roots and my family. So I'm kind of obligated to watch PSG. And it was so frustrating to watch Tuchel. And everybody, like, I don't know, just because he's a new guy at Chelsea, everybody is happy now.
No,
but
I'm gonna jump in on you right there.
Did you know?
Let me say one thing.
Did you rate him at PSG?
Well, at the beginning, everybody was happy, but toward the end, it was like putting players out of positions.
So you didn't like you didn't like him as a manager at PSG.
It's not like I didn't like him because PSG is not like my family. It's not like my club. It's like like overall, you got influenced by what people are saying around you, right? So I kind of, I don't know, but I just hope that he's going to improve. That is my hope.
Is my thought.
He's going to learn. He's going to learn from his mistakes. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. I like that part. This is my take and Tuchel now. When I heard that he's coming, when I see that, because even before they start calling his name, there's some manager's name calling, and Tuchel wasn't my first choice. You understand? But we have to all understand, and not because you say these things, but I'm gonna give you a reason why I'm saying these things, and this was way before. All right, Tuchel wasn't my first choice, but at the same time, maybe because of him available, why they take him. But I did want what's that guy name?
Nagelsmann.
Well, he was on the agenda. Enriquez. He was on the agenda, but he's in the middle of a season of Nagelsmann, so I wasn't confident. I was saying Enriquez, right? That Spanish guy. I was saying him. I was saying him. Reason for me why I wasn't jumping for Tuchel. I'm saying that.
Sorry, Sheffield United have just won.
Come on.
Thank you. Yes.
That's what we became, right? That's Chelsea. That's a new Chelsea thing. We just celebrate.
We've got all Arsenal. We've got all Arsenal. We're celebrating.
Ethan Ampers doing it.
Let me tell you. Before I go back to that, let me tell you why. This is one of the clubs that I hate so much, and people would even know why I hate Man U. So I have some Man U fans around me. They too cockatoo, bro. Suppose you hear them. At least I just some of the time I listen to one of them channels because some Chelsea boy go on it. Because if you ever hear the guy talk, I just don't like Man U just because even they're fans. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I always celebrating. But back to what I was saying now.
Goldbridge.
Right. So back to what I was saying about Tuchel now. Tuchel wasn't my first choice, but when I see the reason for that, I feel like he didn't have no real challenge. This is gonna be his real challenge, and I'm gonna tell you why I said this. You have to understand. In Dortmund, yes, I would respect that more than even PSG. PSG is like a one-man team, and how he plays football, just get the ball to Neymar and get the ball
one
to
team league, the French league.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for helping me. Right, something like that. So I can't give him the highest praises there. You get what I'm saying? This is now gonna be his real test. So that's why it wasn't my first choice. But what my brother just said a while ago, saying that it is what it is, and we have to just back him. Why are we going to back him now? He have more experience more than Lampard. He win. He know that winning's like. You understand what I'm saying? The next match where I'm going to put a little more squeeze on him, he used to play this type of football in Paris where team put up a block, like what Sheffield going to do and who's going to do. And like what Burnley going to do. So he need to find a way. He have 3 days, right? He have 3 days to do some training, right? So... I know we don't want to put too much pressure on him. We don't want to put too much pressure on him and say, no, give him for the rest of the season. Yes, we understand that we're not going to start judging him until next season. But what I'm saying, we can't sit back and say, sure, he can lose, he can draw. No, we don't. He have the talent. He have the tool in his hand. So, and what Burnley going to do next Sunday, we all know what he's going to do. They're going to sit back And this is what he faced in Paris. So you have to have something that can come out his toolbox. This is how he's going to build and win over Chelsea fans base. You get what I'm trying to say? This is how he's going to have to do. These are the things that he going to have to do and win. Because for me as a person, I don't have him as the highest and big thing. Like they said he's good like Clark and Pep and all those things, because when he was at, bro, he just coming from French league and we know what the league is like. This is going to be his real test. After he pull through this and put something on the table, then now we can say yes. Get what I'm saying? So that's what I have to say. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about that.
He's got the same. He's had the same pathway as Klopp, hasn't he? It's apart from the PSG thing. Klopp was at Mans. Klopp was at Mans. He took over at Mans. Dortmund. He took over at Dortmund, and he's got the experience of handling big players now, like the Neymars and things. So he's had a bit more. He's coming into this with a bit more experience than Klopp.
Experience, perfect. Right.
I'll say, yeah.
You want him to. You want him to. You want him to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so, and obviously he got PSG to the final of the Champions League last season, which no other manager.
If it wasn't for Mbappe, he could have won that.
He could have won that, yeah. So as I said,
and don't get it wrong, and don't get it wrong, he's good at tactics. I know that he's a tactician too. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say, I don't want people to gas up and think that, oh, we get the world best manager and stuff like. No, don't have your expectation too high. You get what I'm saying? I'm not having my expectation too high, because I feel like now he's gonna give this his real test. And if he can break down, because Premier League, I know you guys love Chelsea and I expect you to watch a lot of Premier League. I don't know if you guys know that the Premier League is really, really, really tough.
It's the most difficult league in the world.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
At the bridge. Trust me, I've seen enough.
All right, thank you, bro. Because when I see, look at the quality. Look at the quality managers we have in the Premier League. Okay, Klopp come and what he did. Bam, bam, bam. Look at him now this season. We understand everybody is struggling, but I'm trying to show you how tough it is.
Okay, so let's talk about the game. Who was your man of the match, and who was the flop?
Easy. And for me, Jorginho was the disappointment.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let me answer.
Jorginho for me was my disappointment. It's out of him and Rudiger, but Jorginho.
I agree with you, and that's one. And Hudson-Odoi, I would give him it. Let me say something before I even give Hudson-Odoi. That's why this is gonna go back to what I was saying, that a lot of these players was trying to impress the new manager. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When Frank Lampard was there, we Pulisic is starting. Everybody, I listen to other program, they're quarreling. Why they don't let such Hudson-Odoi start, because he's doing better than Pulisic. You guys have to understand this. I don't know how many of you guys gonna agree with me, but you can tell me where I'm wrong or where you think I'm wrong. Some people have to understand this. When Hudson-Odoi start, Hudson-Odoi is not a starter. Hudson-Odoi couldn't do nothing. He couldn't affect the game. When he come off the bench, he was affecting the game more. You have to understand in life, sometimes we have some players like these only can affect the game for the last 15 to 20 minutes when defender is tired. And with his trickiness and with his speed, that's how we can affect the game. So we have two wingers like that, which is Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic. But who would you trust to start? Lampard start. Pulisic, I have no problem with that. Pulisic would come out of the bench and affect the game, because he was doing that last season when the coronavirus thing did start and he come back. He was used to doing that. But when Lampard see it in training that Hudson-Odoi is not the man to start and affect the game, he started to pull him off the bench. And people were like, no, make him start. You remember when he started? Which team? Can you guys remember me when he started in that period?
He started against Leicester. Yeah.
Thank you. What did he do? Did he have anybody?
But you know what? In his defence, though, I think that he's better on the left than on the right. So I think had he played on the left, he may have seen a different outcome.
And it's just one game.
Who you blame for that? Hold on, I'm going to put it back to you now. So who you blame for that? Me and you as a man.
Lampard.
Who you blame
Lampard,
for that?
I think.
I personally said that I would have played him on the left and left Pulisic out, because Pulisic, he wasn't showing any form since his injury. So I personally would have done that. So yeah.
So you go back to our manager again. This is why I'm telling you that
Pulisic has had multiple poor games, but he's still starting. So I don't think that's good enough. He passed one poor game, and so he has to go back on the bench. I don't think that's fair, personally.
And I agree with you, but then again, we have to ask ourselves, what is he showing in training while Lampard keep putting? You're telling me that Lampard is so blind or stubborn? Maybe it's what he's showing in training. He may be showing more than what Hudson-Odoi is doing. You understand what I'm saying? In training. Because Lampard loved this club. You have to understand the people. Lampard loved the club. Lampard would just sit there and let the club fail. It's just because he can't manage it. He just couldn't do nothing else. I don't think that he know that Otsnada better and can do better and still play Pulisic. That's me telling me that he was asking for the club to fail. I don't believe that.
Chelsea,
I don't believe that. Lampard.
I have a question. Yeah. What do you think about club signings? Because I have a big issue with the way the club is run. I don't think the club has an identity. We just seem to like do random stuff, just go for it. So, like for example, the Holland rumors. Holland might not be someone that Tuchel wants, but what do you think about the club just signing someone and saying, "Here you go, do what you can with this person"?
You know what I want to ask to you guys? So I'm going to answer this in this way. I'm going to answer you in this way. What I want to ask you guys, do you think it's the manager himself abstaining these signs, or does the board sign the player and give the manager and said, work with this?
Right now, there is no manager. Okay, the coach, the head coach. They are called
head coach.
Right, now.
Right, head coach. Yeah. All right, Turf Green, whatever you're calling it, head coach or whatever. Who you think picked the player and said, I need this player? Is it the board or the head coach?
It depends. It could be both. Because like if you look at the Havertz one was definitely a board signing, because I even read something today where Abramovich saw this talent is too good to go to someone else, so he brought him in. Yeah, so that was definitely the one player that Lampard requested that he got was actually Ben Chilwell.
Ben Chilwell, all right, I agree with you on that one.
And he wanted Declan Rice, but the club didn't want to pay a club record 80 million for someone who they released as a 14-year-old. So he was trying to push for Declan Rice,
and he got stuck.
Yeah,
he did.
So he could have got. The irony, if he had got a cheaper alternative in the holding midfield, then he may have kept his job, because he could have got that profile of player that we needed. But he was.
Ampadu is coming back, brother.
I don't know why we
have a
let
problem
go
then. This is where I think we have problems then. So I don't want to stray from my brother on what he has. That's why I'm trying to get back there. This is the problem where I have been. If you're gonna have the board sign one set of players and the coach call for one set of players, we're always gonna have problem, because you see when the coach meet up on a bad run, the coach is going to start them and say, oh, I asked for this player and I didn't get him. I didn't pick this player. I didn't ask for this player. And then the board is going to feel like, oh, I give you talented player and you didn't improve them, or you didn't. That's where the problem is. So that's where they have to sort out that thing. I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say there. If you have the coach,
I get
right. If you have the coach saying that, oh, I didn't buy this player and this is the one I want. Oh, is the board said, oh, this is talent, and you can't improve him. When the team run, win, and then meet up on a bad run, this is where the problem is gonna have. So I think they should. It's either two things. I don't know how it could work out. It's either they make the coach pick the player, or they look at a coach where can work with any talent. How about that? Don't just go there and take up a coach.
I think
that's the way it works nowadays. But that's what continental management is like, for instance. Is that they get the players in, it's your job to manage them and find a way. Real Madrid and other teams
I will work with that one. I think that one is right. Yeah. They get the player in and you find a way to manage it. Because when I said I was going to say that I was saying it's not right. Reason for me why I said it's not right, the board don't play the game. They don't know it. But come on, we don't need that anymore. You have scout. You see these players out there that's a good player. So if the board buy the player, you know that this is somebody that can play already, was already playing and was already good. So you as a manager now, you just need to come with what you got and improve that player and fit him in, find a system for him, find a role for him, and let him explode. So that's the problem I think Lampard did have there. You know?
And another thing, sometimes what they do, they'll give you, if you say you need a player in a certain position, they'll give you 2 or 3 options to pick from, because they've got a scouting team who are looking at certain positions, and they'll say, look, this player is this player or that player, and then you choose. But going back to the Havertz deal, although it was a board signing, Frank Lampard did speak to him, because if you notice, remember when he did his interview, he said he had conversations with Lampard, and Lampard told him exactly the plans he had set out for him. So Frank Lampard would have had ideas of how he wanted to play, the position that he wanted Havertz to play in.
Yeah, just for me. Go ahead. No, I was just saying that. Oh, sorry.
No. Don't worry. Don't go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it goes back to Lampard, but raise your point first. Let me hear you.
No, I was just saying, like, I think it's good to talk about Lampard, but he's the past, and we kind of need to should focus on Tuchel now and see what he's gonna do in the Burnley game. What?
You're just staying away from Lampard already.
I mean, like, Lampard's gone. Let's just enjoy what we have now.
Let's
You know
move
what I mean?
Right. No, it's not that.
Who do you think we need to who in the summer? Who is it that basically we need to bring in to maybe elevate this team?
It's not who.
It's Zakaria or Zakaria or Valverde. I think his name is.
Yeah. First of all, for me, let's finish top 4 because the Haaland deal is going to depend on us finishing top 4.
Yeah. Get that.
And after that, for me, to be honest,
I agree with you. Let's stop 4 before we start talking about anything.
Stop 4. Let's just use what we got right now.
Thank you. That's what you said. You're right there. What I was saying, this team. We full of people in every part. Just try and get the best out of what we have. Reach the top 4, and then we start think about putting in somebody because we have so much deadwood in this team right now. In this squad, we need to let go some of these players. So we can't talk about people coming in here.
That's the issue.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the most important thing for me is to get rid of the deadwood and get rid of players who are not suited to the system. Get rid of some of those midfielders. What we badly need is a true powerhouse midfielder. We don't want these Jorginhos and things. They're slowing down our play.
So right, because the funny thing about it, Blazer, when Jorginho come in under Surrey, he was the star, right? I don't know what if Surrey have an injection for him or what, but once Surrey gone, I just feel like he can't do it anymore. I was trying to fit him in even in Lampard's side, said that normally when we play in a team that put up low block, he will be on the ball more because when he plays that deeper role, he's not physical and strong like Conte, right? But if we have control of the ball, we don't need him to do too much running. You get what I'm saying? So teams that sit back, he could play in that and he string the pass overhead. I just feel like the confidence low in these guys. Do you remember a player a pass give Tammy Abraham against which team? Way over the head.
Wolverhampton. It was against it was Watford.
Watford, thank you.
Yeah,
and he scored.
Yeah.
Tell me when last you see he play something like that. His confidence gone. His confidence gone. So we don't need, if the coach can't get it back, we don't need him. And this is one of the problems we have.
He did that with Werner this season. He did that with Werner this season. I don't remember what it was. I think
I lose that one.
That was against Southampton, wasn't it? Was it Southampton? Yeah. When we drew 3-3.
Oh, right. Yeah. But why you don't do that more? All right, listen, this is what I'm saying. We are blaming the coach, which I do too, so I don't want to take myself out of it. He playing the ball back and cross. You as a player out there, experienced playing for Italy and everything. If the coach even give you the statistics and say this is how we're going to break them down, and you playing 25 to 30 minutes as an experienced player, 200 pounds a week, and you see one way not working, you don't take that in your hand and say, okay, we play a ball over the top. They don't take those things.
Yeah.
No initiative.
Yeah. It's the player's responsibility as well. Don't tell me. Listen, Frank Lampard always used to say, "I tell them to pass the ball quicker," and they don't.
Right.
And then today, you saw Tuchel on the touchline saying, "Move the ball faster, move the ball faster." And I don't know why. As I said, maybe it's a confidence thing. They just want to play the safe pass.
No, it's a confidence. Yeah, it's a confidence. They don't.
Sideways or backways, it's easy. Because we made 500 passes. We made the most passes out of anyone in the Premier League.
Right. It's a record. I think about 800. I think about
500 passes and not doing anything with it.
That's
897.
800 and something. 800.
No end product. No end product. What do you think about
no end product? Right. This is what I want to touch on, bro.
Someone was saying, "Oh, what a great performance." I'm like, what's great about this performance? This is not great at all. This isn't good enough. But obviously, it's just the first game. I don't want to be too critical, But
I'm not blaming him. Tuchel's it's just the players. They need to get into their mindset to be more direct.
This is what I want. This is what I want to ask. Do you guys think that all of this comes from Lampard? Like, keep the ball, do not lose it in certain area because you're scared of counter attack. Because you can see these players afraid to make two ball. free to play the ball through the line. I'm wondering if the coach tell them that. Do not lose the ball on certain part of the pitch. We know that these are things that coach tell players. But come on, you have to take chance some of the time. You can't play for 65 minutes and playing the ball around the corner, around it, and nothing not going on, and you're still trying to keep the ball game. I'm not talking about today. Make we get today out of it, because as we said, we cannot pressure about this, man. I know we don't want to talk about Lampard too much, but because Tuchel just come, we don't get enough to talk about it. Make we talk about Lampard, what he wasn't doing, because people out there still have in their feelings saying that, oh, we miss him, oh, he need more time. A lot of people saying he need more time. Come on, brother. You can't be saying that. This is not a one-person club. This is a club searching for success. From this man take up this club from 2003, 2004, we all know what he's about. Stop talking about give more time. More time come with result. So that's why we're talking about Lampard now. I'm thinking that Lampard tell these players, keep the ball, do not lose the ball. And that's why they bounce it. So sometimes, all right, Ben Chilwell come there with a big confidence, right? Look at Chilwell now. Even today, he wasn't even doing good. Even though we're not talking about today, but it's a lot of game he wasn't doing good. And when he comes from Leicester,
Yeah, can I say, I don't think it was just from Lampard's day, because Sarri did the same thing about possession-based football and keeping the ball and the passing.
Right.
It's a task
right.
of
But you know why
passing.
I'm blaming Lampard? No, you know why I'm blaming Lampard? How long Sarri leave? Remember, Lampard come in to change and play his way to get result or to bring up players. So.
Yeah, but we're also playing with what the problem is that we've got a mishmash of different managers' players. Yeah, because we've got Jorginho, he was a Sarri man, and Kovacic, he's a Sarri man. We've got Alonso in the squad, who was definitely suited for a 3-4-3 system. And so what Lampard was trying to do, he was trying to get rid of the deadwood and bring in his players to input. So when you've got players of different managers with different mindsets, it's hard to get them all to play. Because like if you look at Liverpool and Klopp, it took him 3 windows because he still had players who weren't his type of players who he wanted to play in the system. So it took him 3 windows to totally overhaul that squad, and then now he bought in his third season, everyone who was playing in that side was a Klopp and they could buy into it.
They had like Mbeteke, they had Mamadou Sakho.
Let me ask. All right, that's what I'm gonna get to know. Let me ask you something now. A lot of people keep on using Liverpool. I respect what you said, Blazer, and you put out some valid point, but I'm gonna have an answer for that. A lot of people keep on using Klopp, said, "Oh, he take 3 years and he take this and that." What I want to ask people, right? Compare the players that Liverpool did have in his team at that time when Klopp come over. Compare them to Chelsea now. How much of them would get into a Chelsea team? That's what we have to look at. Those players that Liverpool did have was trash. Thank you. Those players are trash. These players that we have right here, even if they don't want to put them as world class, these are way talented players than what would you play?
Klopp said that.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So this is why I'm saying that I don't think we need 3, 4, 5 years to get the bit up of these players. That's why
nobody.
No. What I'm saying is, it's not. They may be good players, but they may not be suited to the style that he wants to play. So so you need to bring in players with you're going to have the same work ethic and the.
I don't believe in that. No, you know why? Hold on. No, I disagree with that one. I disagree with that one. And you know what I'm going to tell you? I have my answer why I disagree with that one. You can't tell me that you as a manager come in and you have a squad of players, and because you have a system to play, you can break these players to play the system. You have to go out there and pick out individual each time a manager come in. It doesn't work like that. It's like you're wasting money. It's like you have to have. That's why you have the training ground. You get what I'm saying? That's why you have your backroom staff. You turn the player into this. I'm going to use an example. Hold on. I'm going to use an example.
Klopp didn't change Mignolet.
Yes.
Klopp didn't change Mamadou Sakho. He didn't change anybody. He just needed to get rid of people like Mbeteke and bring somebody else.
Right, because those were no good. You're getting mixed up. They're not good, but look at
that's why we have a lot of dead wood.
No, bro, you're mixing it up.
They don't fit the
you mix
system,
up.
so they have to go.
Listen, Klopp have a system. He don't change it to suit the player. The players, he turned the players in his system. Look at this little one will come from Wolves. When name Robertson. What?
How long
What you
it
said?
took for him to start performing? Because he finished like
That
8th or 7th.
right, because of the
Yeah.
dead players like Ben Teke and those people. Those are not quality. That's what I'm saying. You're mixing it up. Match the quality that Liverpool did have compared to what Chelsea have. None of those players in that time will get into Chelsea team. No. You get what I'm saying? We have talented player. Look at Mason Mount, bro. Mason Mount coming like he's a world-class player. So you can get better out of these players.
Yeah, can I actually stop you there? Because Klopp actually had an interview, and when Gareth Bale was available or somebody and he says, no, Gareth Bale doesn't suit my system. He doesn't fit into the way I want to play. So you are going to get you have to get certain players to play.
Right,
To
I like how you put it. Certain.
Yeah.
Right, certain, but not like it. But no, how you were saying it is like you have to go and buy all of those 11 players.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's
no,
not what
I know
I'm
you
saying.
didn't say that, but that's how it sounds. You can take 1 and 2 players and put into the system, and then you mold the other rest of them in it because that's why you have the training ground. You understand what I'm saying? That's where the work began. I bet you Tuchel now. You think Tuchel gonna turn to the board and said, "Oh, for me to finish top 4, get me these players where I want"? No, he's gonna go on the training ground starting tomorrow and say, "Listen, guys, this is how I want you to do. This is when you're receiving the ball. This is how I expect you to before you even receiving the ball."
And you expect him, like you expect everything to click just overnight, right?
No, I do not, and that's what I was saying. No, I do not. But if you have one system, and trying, this is what that's why I keep saying the training ground. It's not like 10, 15 system you're trying to confuse the player. You have one system and you want to get it into them. This is you have tomorrow, you have the another day, you have the following day, and that's what they practice and working on. You understand what I'm saying? They actually gonna get it. But if you have 3, 4, 5 system, if they have 4 or 5 system trying to get, that's when they're gonna confuse, and that's when they go on the field. You're not gonna see. They don't even know where their teammate is. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna look like they don't know what they're doing. So I think that they have to have one, just like how it just coming now. You have to just have one thing to try and get in. You have to have one system and get the players them and let them play, and then that's how we start to pull out and put in, take off after the bench and say you're gonna be my starter. This is how you have to approach this. You understand?
Right.
Because it's not gonna easy for you. Huh? It's not gonna easy for you to go out there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, let Tyrone come in now. Let's do it.
You see, with Chelsea, what Chelsea boy is saying, I understand everything he's saying. Now, with going back to with Klopp and him saying that they had a lot of players who were bad. In terms of I'm trying to remember the players that he had when he came in 2015, if I'm not wrong. He had an interview ahead of Spurs, I think it was yesterday, and he said that Thomas Tuchel has a present. He basically has a present. Because he's saying that unlike Tuchel, he didn't have that type of, he didn't have that what's the word?
Okay, bro, you really seem then, right?
He didn't have that courtesy because he had to work harder than how Thomas Tuchel has to work, because the Chelsea squad is full of players who have terrific and extreme potential. The team that he had.
What
but the issue is that no, unlike Klopp, he didn't have that ability, and he didn't have that chance to have players, and especially he came in a bit after the transfer window opened, or not before, after. And unlike Tuchel, there's a bit of time now, but I know he's gonna sign anybody, and I don't think he will. But he has to work with the players now.
Tyrone,
and that's the similarity with, and that's the similarity as well, because.
Eric
yeah,
coming.
I'm just wondering, you said about the press conference. Which one was it? Was it the pre-match for Spurs or?
Yeah. He said, and they had like a compilation of people saying that you had Pep saying something about him, you had Klopp saying something, and they were saying that he has a present because he wasn't fortunate enough to have a team where he can just build on it, try to get the best out of them. and that's the situation.
And just to add to that, I'm going to make it talk. You think Tuchel is a fool? He would take the job if he know that the players them are not good. And he look at the squad and said, "Wow, look at our bench. Look at the starting level." He know.
He said that in his
just
press
needs to set
conference.
that system. I'm telling you, yeah, he know. You wouldn't take the job. You'd walk.
He
He
said
just
in the
leave. Last month he leave PSG, so he's not that hungry to take a job.
Yeah.
He'll just sit back if he thought it wasn't good. I'm telling you, make a Burnley call him and see if he would take it. Let who you said any one of those mid-table clients would take it. He take the job because he know these are way for quality player where we can get something out of. So if the summer come, he may only get one or two players after he get to sell some of these. He's not going to change off of the squad. I'm telling you. These are good players.
Guys, I'm going to have to finish in a couple of minutes because I've been on there for nearly 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have a question for everyone. Just what do you guys expect for the rest of the season? Because I'm not expecting top 4. It will be nice, it will be good, but I'm not.
It's tough, but that's where we have to have.
Today, had we won today, then we'd have had a shot. Because especially every result went our way, and I'm so annoyed by it. Leicester drew with Everton today. Manchester United lost today.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it was a draw.
Blazer,
I
like how you're analyzing it, Blazer. This is why I have my heart think that I still can get a little top 4 because teams above us going to drop points. We just need to gain little points. I like that today we didn't lose, even though we want the 3.
Yeah, small stepping stone. So if we can get on a run, that's what we need. If we can get on a run, because obviously in this league, you know that if you win 5 or 6, confidence is high, and then you can get on it. Look at West Ham. Look at Arsenal. Since Arsenal beat us,
let me tell you what's going to happen.
Arsenal's transformed.
You ever heard of this? This is why I want these guys to settle good. You ever heard of this? What they use this saying to said? They would say like the fast ass, like these are just West Ham and those team. By next month in 2 months time, I feel like they're gonna drop back. They will. This is what I want to say. They just are quick run out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have to understand how everybody starts in this league. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody starts out a little cramped in this league. So I don't feel like West Ham reached their bad point yet. You get what I'm saying? The team gonna step up and put in what they need to put in. And I'm telling you, I feel like if we put 3 good results together, confidence build.
So Max, Chelsea boy, Max wanna go because he only get 2 minutes. So if you can give other people, the opportunity to say.
No problem, of course, man.
Okay, so what I have,
you're passionate, so but
he's very passionate, just like Michael.
Yeah.
So what I have to say, for me, the expectation is to win the next game. I'm not gonna just expect too much, and then to sell some dead wood before the end of this window.
That's
what
I don't think it's possible though.
Yeah. All right. If we have Alex and then Eric as answering, who posed the question? Was it?
It was me. Yeah.
Eric, you posed a question. Did you answer?
Yeah, I said I don't expect top 4, but
top 4, right? Yeah.
I don't expect it, but I'm saying top 6. Top 6.
Yeah.
I didn't get to say anything. I just want to say 2 things because is there anybody waiting?
No one's waiting now. Sorry, I say sorry to Mikhail. I think he was in the waiting room, but he's gone.
I just want to say 2 things. Related to what Chelsea boy said about the teams going to they're going to start dropping in performance. If you realize in the beginning you had like Everton, you had Arsenal, you had teams like that who were at the top and people were thinking like, oh my goodness, they might win this. Then you had Liverpool, then you had us go up there, then you had Spurs. So over time you realize that the teams that people were expecting to win the league, they just keep falling off. I think it was Arsenal or Everton that fell off first. Then you had Spurs. Then you had us. Then Liverpool looked like they were getting back after they won 7-0 against Crystal Palace. Then they fell down. Now they're at the 4th place, I think, or whatever. So the issue is that it has to be with consistency, and that's hard to it's hard to keep having that consistent type of performance and confidence. And the second thing I want to say as well is in terms of what I expect for the rest of the season. No, we said this before. it would have been better if Tuchel, even though most of us didn't want him, but we have to support him because we have to support whatever manager it is. I think would have been better if he had gotten, like, hopefully if COVID cooled down and everything, if he could get a preseason, if he could have done something else, I think that it would have been better for him than now, because now he's gonna have to work hard. He came in one day before a match, so if he had like a preseason, I think he would probably be able to get his system, his plan put together, and because of that, because he has to come in between, it's going to be hard for him to get across what he wants.
Yeah, nobody wanted to say that for Frank Lampard because it was an excuse. Just saying.
Yeah.
Because preseason, the lack of preseason, people say, "Oh, everybody else didn't have preseason."
Yeah.
But now we have to understand the preseason thing.
Wait,
yeah.
could I,
Yeah.
All right, let's have Alex in quickly, because as I said, I need to go soon. So, Alex.
No, so I think what Tyrone said, though, I think actually this maybe is the best time for Tuchel to come in, because I think no one is expecting him now to like do some crazy thing. I think because obviously he's a new manager, so it's actually more time for him to actually get to know the team at these pressure points, and then in the summer you get to know even the team even better. So you know, there's more time now for him to actually get better at knowing the team. It's
I agree.
positive. And you know, I think for me, I can still see Chelsea getting top 4, to be honest. Like, I think it can happen. Like, I'm being optimistic here. You know, like there's still almost, well, how many games? 18 games to go.
Yeah.
How many games?
Yeah.
So
I don't even know. I don't even care.
Yeah, it's 18. Yeah.
like that's we're like, this is kind of half of the season. You know, this is kind of we're in the point of kind of just after half the season. So that's maybe why, you know, we can get top 4 100%. You know, we can get there. That's not hard. You know, I think, especially like now, like Everton has dropped points, Leicester dropped points. You know, like if we go on a run, if we win 2-3 games in a row, we're in top 4. You know, it's gonna be close and it's gonna be hard, but it is possible. It's not off the cards.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks everyone for joining anyway. So if we look at it as the glass half full, where we've gained a point on Manchester United and we've gained a point on Aston Villa. We've overtaken Aston Villa. We've moved at the table by 1 place or 2 places because we're above Arsenal. So if we're looking at it for a glass half full, I just want to leave you guys on one. I just looking at Twitter and Tuchel, what he said. He said, "I'm absolutely sure we have the capacity to hurt anybody in every league and competition, and it's my job to bring evidence of that as fast as possible." So that's good words from Tuchel. So let's hope that
he believes in it.
Yeah,
he believes in the squad.
That's what won me over. That's what won me over with him. He knows what to say, and he knows that it won't be easy. He knows it won't be easy. He knows that it has to be work. And I want to say this quote: "The only time success comes before work is in the dictionary."
Yes, my mother always used to tell that to me. Love that quote. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining. It was a lovely discussion. All passionate Chelsea fans, as you can see. So, yeah, this is a flowing 2 hours of flowing from conversation. So, yeah, it's great to have all of you.
Hope to see you guys next week again. All right.
Yeah.
No problem.
Then. Take care.
Cheers, everyone.
All right, yeah, man.
Bye,
How does team labs work?
I appreciate it, man.
How does team labs work?
Thank you, man. Keep on back the team.
Yeah, see you later.
Go blue, all right? Yeah, man.
Okay, bye.